What's up and what's going on, fellow Pantheon streamers? Appreciate every single one of you guys coming by again this week with us for another Pantheon stream. We do have some fun topics to get into with you guys this evening. We're going to talk about Superman. We're going to talk about Andor. We are also going to talk about the Annihilators rumor. We're going to talk about Creed 4 being a TV series, Ironheart, AMC Wednesday tickets, the Met Gala, and Forever Season 2 on Netflix. So we're going to get into all those things with all of you guys, take our opinions, get you guys' thoughts. Before we do that, Marcus, how have you been?
Been doing well, man. Doing well. Ready to, hey, buddy, eyes up here. Did y'all like
Superman?
that? Yeah. Did y'all like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I
like
got
it when
it.
Superman did it.
Okay. All right. That was bait. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna have a talk today, but yeah, no, in general, I've been doing okay. Been doing well. Ready to go.
I've been doing okay, Darius. One thing I changed is that I started making my own food more than I usually do. I order a lot of food, so that's changed in my life. It's actually fun cooking, you know. So shout out to me.
Shout out to you.
That's nice. All right. Well, great that everybody's doing great since we've last seen them. Let's go ahead and jump into our first topic. Chill, what do you got?
We got to start with Superman, right?
Oh boy.
Burr, 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 burr. New trailer coming out. Now, the music I just sang was the same music they used. They used the John Williams score, except it was a little bit more rock and rolly.
Yeah.
It feels like they're committing to that. Then I guess they're
very modern. Yeah, everything's modern. Gotta update things, because old tired narratives, they don't work. We gotta bring it into present day.
Is that criticism that I hear, Marcus? Because if it is, I'll have you know that criticism of that thing that the person threw at Superman and it made him twitch. They've changed it now because in this version of a trailer, he doesn't twitch anymore. He kind of just gets hit by it. So fans can say things like, hey, we don't like the song. We don't want the original song without the update that's modern. And they may actually change it because James Gunn listens.
That's all well and good. And I'm glad they fixed the coffee cup scene because that was also pivotal. I actually want y'all to give your thoughts on it. I'm obviously going to be the sore thumb here, so let's let praise lead us into the review before I get to my concerns, is what I will call them.
The first thing I'll praise is that when I covered the trailer on my channel, I did it for the members because I knew it would be copyright claimed, and you can't put an ad in. I'm like, let me just do it for my members. Well, it didn't get copyright claimed at all. So that I was happy to see that. I think that
surprise!
That's something
I've up the gates. That's nice
because people have complained about it. At least I know I have under James Gunn. Hey, will I be copyright claimed? And that video, for me, I can speak for me. I don't know if everyone else can speak on it because you guys are content creators too. Did you get
Warner Brothers whoops our ass? It's probably the main reason why we don't review The Last of Us. Well, that and the way that they release it on digital, like it doesn't come out on the streaming platform. It comes out at the exact same time that it comes out on TV, which is weird as hell, and it kind of messes things up for how we record. But they also copyright strike the hell out of you. Warner Brothers is notorious about smacking you. It doesn't matter if you are on your hands and knees giving them the holy shine. Yeah. They are still going to come and get that coin off of you. So that's mainly why we stay away from even reviewing their trailers.
Yeah, I didn't even know. That's why I don't do anything Warner Brothers, because they will copyright you. But you say you did it and it didn't get anything.
No claim.
Maybe we're opening up the gates for Superman. That's interesting.
My thing is, my biggest beef is not like when you claim me, which hurts, but it's when you say this video that you worked on and you edited, you can't even post it. Like it's not even able to be seen anymore. Like visibility off. Yeah. That's when you get me. That's what irks me.
Yeah. That's what pisses me off. And of course, they don't know that you spend time editing the video.
Oh, they know. They don't care.
Well, yeah, they know.
Yeah,
and then you upload it. That, bruh. I mean, at my last house, that happened. because of my issues, I punched a hole in the wall because I had sat there and edited that video. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like don't tell me this is fine and it can, pass that safety check, it buffers and it goes, okay, we'll post it. And then 1 hour later after it's online, you tell me that we can't do it because I've already closed my software where my editing software. I've already got rid of it. Now, like, it's going to make it really, really hard to go back and redo it. It's so annoying. And it's a first world problem, but it's annoying, bro.
It's annoying. No, for sure.
We can still look at still images, though. We can cover it this way.
I would also argue that it's a working class issue because of where we are on the chain, on the food chain, right? Like we're not a trade. We're not a platform that can actually fight back on some of that stuff. So we're pretty low down the food chain. We're working class, baby.
Ben and Jerry's would love us.
Absolutely.
This is the scene that we're talking about with the coffee cup.
The mug, yeah. They call it a cup. Yeah.
I think I may have skipped it. But it happens right about here. His eye didn't twitch on the side, and that was a plus. That was a new change. So to that change. Very cheap change to make. My highlight of this, of course, had to be the interview. Seeing this guy talk to Lois, but Lois is she just has credibility. What's she gonna do? Make it obvious that she's interviewing her friend Clark Kent? Nah, she's gonna treat you like Superman, asking him hard-hitting journalistic questions about why you were doing what you were doing and what country do you align with. And in his world, he's an alien. It's all the same thing. But how does that come across? Like, this was actually interesting to me because Superman can't get beat up without kryptonite. He's super. This vulnerability stuff is
getting his ass whooped in these previews.
Probably had kryptonite
every time. No, I'm sorry. I said I was going to let y'all get this off, so y'all go get this off. Apologize. I didn't mean to.
I think it was a great trailer, and seeing Lex Luthor in this, what do you call it, Fortress of Solitude?
Mm-hmm.
So off-putting to see him here. This is not right. Like, and I don't think I've even seen this in a cartoon, so I'm liking it. Darius, help me out before he starts blasting this whole thing. We got superheroes, Mr. Terrific, Hawkman, and this guy Gardner, Green Lantern. It's like the 5th time we've seen them in a different place. They're probably going to be always together, and there might not be a 4th superhero. Some people are speculating this space on the left is for a 4th superhero. I doubt it.
It is kind of open. Well, I'll say I liked the trailer. I thought it was a good trailer. As I've said before, when it comes to the things that Gunn has released for Superman, the first one I liked, the 5-minute little deal he got of Superman calling for Crypto to take him back to the Fortress of Solitude. I like that. This trailer I have liked. I don't, I know that some people had a problem with the interview that Lois did with Superman, saying that Superman was, the way that he was reacting to the questions was not the way that a stoic Superman would react, or not the way that he'd have more wisdom with his answers and things like that. Blah 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 blah. I think the way that he's playing it right now, I like it. The humor, if there's going to be a lot of humor in it, if this is the level of humor we're getting right now, keep it there. If it gets any higher than that for Superman, I don't know if I can take it. The like I said, when Marcus did the "Hey buddy, eyes on me," after watching the trailer a couple more times, because I will say when he first said it, I didn't like it at all. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Superman ever say anything like that or ever act like that in any kind of way. So I was just like, that's a little different. But after watching it a few different times, it's fine. I like the trailer. I really did like the trailer. I thought it was a much better trailer than the Fantastic Four trailer that Marvel delivered.
Sure. So first, I mean, it wasn't total dog food. There was even the scene that I'm mocking, right? The eyes up here. It was more so the dialogue that I had the issue than the actual scene itself. Like a lot of the physical shots, I will admit, were a little bit better in this trailer than they have been in teasers and trailers past. The things that really stick out to me visually about this film aren't going to change. And I think you either really like it or you don't. I don't like this grade. I don't like the color scheme, the colors that they're choosing to make pop on the screen. Make it feel dull to a certain degree, right? Like the way that this is coming off, it feels kind of like otherworldly. Like it doesn't look like we live here. This looks like maybe like an imitation of where we live. And I guess that's all movies, right? To a certain degree. I'm being kind of picky. But just the way it kind of looks, it's very off-putting. Also, the kaiju shots in the costumes, dog. I hated both of those. And I still don't like it. I've seen that kaiju now 3 different times. I feel like they've gone back and touched it up 3 different times. I still don't know what that monster is. I don't have any interest in finding out. I do not like Guy Gardner here. But yeah, this looks like it's like Diet Pacific Rim. I don't. So then, other than the kaiju, right? Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl suits are still kind of in my crawl. Now, I'm gonna give it some bail on the suits because I'm thinking that's first iteration, much like Clark's suit, right? Like I don't think this is gonna be final form Superman. This is where they want to start. We'll end up at a different place, I believe. Yeah. So maybe that's the same thing for Guy and what is her name? It's not Yelena, it's what is her name? Not Diana. What is her damn name? Shira.
Yeah, but this one's not Shaira. I forget which one this one is.
Well, that sucks.
Let me see.
Why would we not do the one we know from Justice League? Why are we still doing obscure characters?
That's what I said when Ryan Reynolds was playing Green Lantern in that movie.
So all of this can be excused, right? Because this is all very nitpicky. This is not really stuff that you're going to walk into a theater and be like marking down like I am. The thing that I don't think is going to be excused is that if you notice, this was the trailer that everybody was expecting to get the heavy dialogue. We were expecting to get actual words that are going to give us, give us cues about the plot or the conflict or whatever, what are the antagonists' motives or anything like that, any kind of clues. But we wanted to hear him speak. We didn't just want to see, physical shots and then a few jokey lines. So we got a little bit of that in the interview. I was one of the ones that was a little bit taken back by the reaction. Not that he was, not taken to the idea that he should be a nationalist, right? I understand why an alien wouldn't necessarily see himself as an American. It was the responsive nature. It was the very human. Oh my God, the kind of fanboy spiral that kind of made me tilt my head a bit because it's like, well, man, at least the Clark Kent I'm used to knowing was almost trained to not give in to those very basic human instincts by Martha and Jonathan. They feared him away from jealousy and anger and envy and pushed him towards more virtuous morals because they knew what type of power he yielded and what those kind of human emotions would lead him to doing. He's not a regular kid. He can't throw a tantrum. He can't throw his toys across the room when he gets frustrated. He can't stomp his feet and go to his room. He's an alien. So like even just seeing him kind of get up and kind of flail is like, well, what stage of Superman is that? Because he looks pretty grown. Lois already knows who he is. So you would think we'd be deeper into maturation and not, giving off those cues. The reason why I hung on that scene is because that's really where we got the most of the talking, right? And everything else was kind of held back. I think our suspicions about the main plot about this movie are dead on. That's not a Superman movie for me where we're going narratively. I don't think that we need to go so far in updating the narrative of Superman that we fall into 2020 problems, that we fall into 2025 problems that affect Superman. Those kind of things. First of all, I would like to leave them in elsewhere while I'm watching a film, but that's personal taste stuff. But secondly, I think kind of updating the narrative humanizes Superman to a degree that makes him weaker. And even in this trailer, several times we see this man pulling himself out of rubble. A human was helping him out of a ditch. Right? Like, how many times are we going to watch Superman get his ass kicked in this movie, be in recovery in this movie? How much kryptonite do they have? So, again, a lot of Clark getting beat the hell up. Then I think the dialogue is going to be James Gunn dialogue. I don't think we should expect anything different. And then the main plot is going to be controversial. That's a lot to overcome for me. Will I see it? Probably not day one. We got other things to see. Jurassic Park is in the town. But maybe. They will possibly get a ticket for me.
The way you still call it Jurassic Park is like how we used to call it HBO Max, and then they had to change it back, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
Is it not called Jurassic Park? What is
World?
Jurassic World. What is that? What the
since
new
2015? It's always been Jurassic World.
That's what it was. I'm saying this is a reboot. Did they not just go back to Jurassic Park? What is the new film called? It's called Jurassic World.
Yeah.
What is it? Jurassic World Rebirth or something? What's the full title?
That might be it. Yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really mind
He didn't give a damn about Jurassic.
I didn't mind him getting frustrated with Lois, and I guess the reason I didn't mind him getting frustrated with Lois, him showing, even though he's not human, he is an alien in a foreign land, things like that. But I too, even if I were an alien and I'm coming to your world and I'm trying to live by your rules and customs and things like that, but I have this power, this godlike power, and I can help you, and you don't see that I'm helping you. That's going to frustrate the hell out of me too, even though I'm an alien or not. Like, yeah, I'm helping you. Like, I stopped a war. And she's like, yeah, but did you talk to the president? What do I have to talk to the president about? I have godlike powers. I can do things that you cannot do by calling over there and trying to be like, hey, let's, pulling up Trump and Vladimir, please stop. No, I have the power. I can go over there and stop this. So what are you frustrated about? So
now, if we gonna end up with Injustice Superman, that's perfect. That's a perfect layup for Injustice. Does anybody think we're going there though? Does anybody think that's where we're going with James Gunn? Do you think he's gonna write Injustice? No, absolutely not. So what we're left with is just a all omnipotent being, right? Godlike, who has a penchant to skirt authority, or at least the idea that authority should be questioned when he sees fit. He doesn't see himself as a soldier. He sees himself as the entire army. Is that Superman? Other than the Injustice storyline, is that how Superman operates? Is that how he's operated with Justice League? Is that how he's operated when he did work with the president? Is that how he operated in any group fashion that he's ever been in? I don't think that's the type of character he is, at least to me. And I'm a Superman hater, but that's not usually how he's been presented. He's been presented as this ultra good, doing right for the sake of good, but finding a way to do it within the rules. They don't usually write conflict for Superman with governments or groups or other motivations. That's what made damn, why did I just lose it? What was the storyline I was just talking about? Yeah, the
Injustice?
game. Injustice. Damn, I don't know why it just fell out my brain like that. That's what made Injustice so interesting, right? They were able to push so much out about that, video games, movies, and stuff like that, because it was an interesting concept. What happens if Superman breaks? What happens if he realizes, like, the only thing that could save everyone is my power, and I will force that upon anyone who doesn't agree? Well, that's kind of what they're telling here, but we know that ain't where he's going. So it's just like, kind of privilegey, which stinks a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. And I also didn't mind him getting helped up by the because it's very. I mean, we've seen it with Spider-Man, the train scene. It's people. Yes. At the same time, he is a superhero, and yes, he is supposed to help the people. But every now and then, those people are going to be like, I got you. Get up.
I think Superman and Spider-Man are a little bit different, but I take your point, because I felt more Spider-Man than Superman from this trailer, if that makes sense. Like, I understand Peter being beaten and dragged and needing a hand to get up, because at the end of the day, Peter's still a human being, right? He may be enhanced, he may be improved, he may be stronger than the average fellow, but he's a human underneath that costume. Yeah. Superman getting picked up so many times. We already see him getting picked up by the ditch. We seen him getting dragged by Crypto. We got to get repaired by the robots, right? I'm assuming something's going to come of that kaiju, because even when he was doing the stuff, he was all burnt up and beaten, thrown through buildings there. It's like, okay, fine. You know, I guess this is the first version of it, but you did promise me that this wasn't going to be an origin. Well, not an origin means a fully formed, mature Superman who should be able to hold it down against anybody not holding that green rock. And, you know, a few hands of others, but we're not going to see that whole host in the first movie. So why is this man in the dirt so much? Is my you know,
I completely agree. That was my complaint with the very first trailer. I even tweeted, I don't know that opening your first trailer with a beaten, battered Superman was the best idea. So I agree on that front. You know, Superman, we are seeing him down a lot. And to the question, or to the statement here, I'm definitely not comparing Kal-El to Peter Parker in no way. What I'm saying is the hero moments are the same. Kal-El obviously is no Peter Parker, but how many times have we seen in films or comics or whatever that, you know, the civilians are sometimes reach their hand out just to pull you up or whatever. Nobody's saying that the civilians are being like, all right, Kal-El, let's get up and let's get him. It's just like, all right, bro, I got you. Let's get up, get your ass back out there and finish what you got to do. It's I'm not just a hero moment, not comparing Kal-El to Peter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, we gonna see, man. I think it's got some steep comp. I don't think it's going to matter. I think whoever ends up doing well in July ends up coming in number 2. But it can,
even I don't even think we should even be counting. This is not my opinion. Well, I agree with this opinion. This was not my statement. I saw this on Twitter. Somebody said, really, we all know Jurassic World is going to win July, so it's in a lane of its own. Yeah, the competition is between Fantastic Four and
Fantastic Four. Yeah, that's the real comp for sure. For sure,
that's the competition.
I kind of disagree with that, man. I think it's very obvious Fantastic Four is making less. I could promise you, whatever Fantastic Four makes,
then Superman
will gross 300 million more than whatever Fantastic Four.
I keep going back and forth with it. I really do, you know. But I, you know, at the same time, I do agree with you, though. You're not wrong. I don't want to say you're wrong, because I keep going back and forth with it. But you're right in a way, because do you see anyone talking about Fantastic Four?
No.
I do know that they're doing reshoots, and I swear to God, every time somebody try to tell me they always do reshoots, and then the movie come out and it's absolute garbage and it's trash. They always do reshoots. They always do reshoots.
Superman did not do reshoots. James Gunn was saying, we're not doing these. We're just doing upfronts, which are different than reshoots, and they're already scheduled for. And so anyways,
but that's truth and lie, because
to me that's a reshoot.
Very early though, they did drastic changes very early in the process, so that the stuff later on he can kind of lie about and be like, oh, well, this is just a little touch here, a little touch there. The drastic stuff happened very early in the process, and because they've been screening a lot.
Well, since we're here, we can go ahead and segue that into Ironheart to kind of answer. Oh, go ahead there, Chill.
Super chats.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want to before the super chat though, there was something related to this I wanted to touch on. It's like, it's nice to have a competition year again. Even like tonight, we're gonna get Final Destination, which is a franchise which we think is coming back, and then The Weeknd, or Abel, whatever he likes to be called now. That guy and Jenna Ortega, they've got a new movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow, and that's expected to make a little bit of money also. Even though
I saw people making fun of his ass, talking about he can't act.
Who's that?
Fans
people making fun of Abel.
Of who? Of The Weeknd.
Talking about he can't act.
It's bad. It's bad. Huh. I'm starting to think how he acts is how he actually is in life, because it's the same shit, boy. But we could talk about Abel later. Make another album, man.
Super chat time.
Payback, homie, I'm bringing CA back, and I don't do button-up shirts or drive Maybachs.
Michael Nemo, $5.
Appreciate you, brother.
Kal-El did it in Superman 4. Poorly executed film, but the seeding that attracted Reeves to the script was disarming the world of nukes.
Is this the one? I get them confused. No, that's Superman Returns. My fault.
We need that now. See that they tried to sucker him in with like this great cause. Same thing they did with Halle Berry and Storm, except they didn't actually give her what she wanted.
Do it. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Storm was Halle Berry. She was in the news recently. She said, "I want James." Did someone say something about James Bond, but it would be a woman? And she said, "I want more women in roles, but I don't want women in men roles." And I think it got like a lot of retweets.
Said that too. I think it was. I think Jenna Ortega said something similar about the swappings, the swaps.
Yeah. Superman 4 was so long ago. I can't even add commentary to this. I don't remember anything from that movie.
It's so long since I've seen the Supermans like at all.
Thanks,
See,
Michael.
I got it mixed up with.
But I appreciate
Returns,
it though. It's a good reference.
Yeah, Returns wasn't called 4. It was basically 5, right?
Returns was trash. Somebody put on there on Twitter.
Brandon Roth. Is that what we were talking about?
I believe the only good scene where he stops the plane. That's literally it. I hate that movie. I hate Returns.
Hey, but you like this movie. Michael's about that money. Break it down. $5. He says.
Favorite movies.
The citizens started to try to attack the Phantom Zone villains in Superman 2 when they momentarily immobilized them. That happened in Superman 2 when they could have actually affected these Kryptonians, and the citizens involved themselves. So what? Like, is it cool? Yeah, it's cool. I remember in Power Rangers in Space, the finale, I'm a Power Ranger, and Bulk and Skull were like, I'm a Power Ranger, I'm the Pink Ranger. Everyone was trying to be a Power Ranger and like fighting the villains and taking it to them. Yeah,
that did happen. There was like a big war with the town. Yeah,
the Angel Grove. Yeah. So I mean, that's like probably the first time I remember it happening when just normal plain people get heroic, get involved. That's a good message. Superman, Power Rangers, no matter where it is.
I think Superman has a different threshold, man. If you're writing Superman, there's responsibility that comes with writing a character that's impervious to everything, that has every power you can think of, right? You are doing a disservice if you almost don't play into that. And that's personally what I hate about Superman, is that he is perfect. He is the perfect fighting machine. He is the perfect hero. And has very little fallibilities. But if that's who you're writing, then you have to write that. Like, you have to lean into that. And then it becomes, well, the deeper moral issues, the mental issues, emotional stuff is what kind of leads the narrative. I don't want to see him getting beaten down, dragged out. I don't want to hear about how, it's happened in the past. He's Superman. Okay. Only thing that beats that mug is another Kryptonian similar to him, some similar strength hero, or a green rock that you can only find in Lex Luthor's back pocket.
Or citizens, like Michael says. It happens.
Or citizens.
It's like we got to be open to it.
My bad.
We can't rule it out completely. Let's see the movie.
I'm just a lowly Superman hater. Y'all don't have to take my opinion. That's just what I'm saying.
You know who else you hate?
You hate up being so tired. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living La Vida without the loca.
Dr. Teddy McLovin says, all I see is a super ass whooping. Damn, I shouldn't have clicked on this. Nah, bro. You know what you need? You guys need an education. All right, this is for you, McLovin. 7 things James Gunn got right in the Superman trailer.
Oh my God! This
number 7 is
shine off. Jesus.
The politics of Superman resonate with us.
No.
Yeah. 5. The throwback to Richard Donner's Superman continues. Yep, there was throwbacks. We had the music. We had Superman's new chapters prove that James Gunn is a true comic book nerd. That's right. He did flex a little bit of some comic book knowledge. That was nice to see.
He's a comic book nerd that only likes the stories that he likes, and everything else is dumb.
James Gunn may have toned down his usual absurdist humor for Superman.
This is a shield write-up because absolutely not. He did not. Like, how much footage have we gotten of this movie
is
already?
My segment.
Compared to how many jokes? This is a BS shill write-up. We're gonna call it out. You be calling out Darius's source. I'm calling out this BS write-up.
Hashim Asraf, that's you, senior writer. We're still reading these though. 2, Clark Kent may not be a loner, as the trailer hints at heartwarming relationships. Who doesn't like a little bit of love?
It doesn't
And
hint,
then
it all but confirms. What are we talking about?
James Gunn is already delving into the multiverse concept in Superman. That's what's happening in this scene. This is the multiverse. Really smart guy, Mr. Terrific, figuring it out. Great representation, solid.
Cool.
So you guys are all wrong about this Superman hate. Thank you, McLovin.
Yeah. I'm sure James Gunn appreciates that so much.
Appreciates
it so much. He might even just give a good old donation to that writer.
Is that Superman ass whooping a reference to the little boy where he was in the cape and he's in the room and he's like, da da da, I'm a superhero powers. And his mom said, you better get your ass down if you get a super ass whooping. Maybe not. Okay. It's a funny TikTok, so I thought maybe that's what it was.
I would love if that is exactly why McLovin used super ass whooping, and then one of us caught the reference.
I thought that's what it was, because the little kid is wearing a Superman. He's like jumping on the couch and he's like, I'm superhero powers. His mom said, but get your ass down if you get a super ass whooping.
Yeah, some people put on.
That's funny to me. I'm usually the guy that thinks like sees something on the internet and assumes everybody else seen it. I'll be like, y'all seen the thing, right? The one video. Y'all ain't see that. That's usually me. So I'm glad somebody else doing it now.
Some people put on Superman outfits, think they're Superman. Some people get the tattoo and think they're Superman.
Money, money, money. You just mad cause your ass is old. My first thing you do is just pick up the phone.
Oh, wait. Okay. Make sure you pass it to me after you read.
Go. You go.
Did you see on Inside NBA
Dwight Howard?
Ernie, no. When Ernie was asking Shaq about being a third CEO with Saffron and Gunn, I guess Gunn had tweeted something about Shaq and they were standing on stage together. And Shaq was like, what is that? Do what? Huh? What do you mean? Like completely out of his mind. Like didn't even remember that it happened, because there was a footage of him standing there with Saffron, and I think it was like some jokey like promotional shit for Superman. But I guess he didn't remember that he had just done it like days ago. It was pretty funny to me.
Yeah. I saw Dwight Howard sitting on Superman on Shaq's seat, and it was funny. They did a podcast interview 2 weeks ago where I think Dwight and Shaq no longer are adversarial towards each other.
He's going to introduce him at the Hall of Fame, right?
Really? Oh,
I heard that very early. Yeah, I say do it.
Do you think they should have Batgirled Ironheart? No, I don't want anything to ever get Batgirled. If it's that far into development, never get rid of it. Keep it. And even damn
good.
You hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Batgirl. What happened to Batgirl? Okay. Coyote versus Acme. The same thing happened but now they've sold it to some other studio, and that movie will see the light of day. And
they wiped Batgirl, didn't they?
I don't think what they did to Batgirl was anything different than what they did with Coyote Acme.
So you could still technically distribute it to someone else.
I think it still exists. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
they just didn't let the directors log on to their account where they could see the edits and the drafts of the movie. But it's filmed. It's somewhere. It's physically in Warner Brothers' possession.
So if they didn't, Batgirl it and it never see the light of day, because I don't think that works out well for anybody involved, then they at least needed to Daredevil that shit and overhaul the narrative. Like this is a project from phase 4, like not even our phase 5 fuck ups. This is from phase 4 fuck ups. And I actually thought about this today. I'm like, so what about Ironheart? Could you review Ironheart? Does that break your embargo? It is an original character, kind of. Brian Michael Bendis. But then it at the same time is a derivative character because they just had to, tack her to Tony Stark.
And so the tiebreaker to this thought process is, what has Marvel Comics ever done with Riri Williams Ironheart? There's no...
Well, not even that, because we don't even have to look to another platform. We can look exactly right here where the stuff is going to come out.
I was going to go there next. Yeah.
We can just look right here and see how if they want you to watch it at all. And so we're 30 days, a little over 30 days, like a touch over 30 days out from the premiere. And we got our first teaser trailer yesterday. The Hood is involved. Mephisto is probably involved. Don't know what that has to do with Riri. So we're notching off the comic book stuff. If you're looking for positive Black representation from Riri Williams, yes, it is a young Black lead from a talented Black actor and Dominic Thorne, who I do want to succeed. I just wonder why, once again, I don't know if it was because of a certain creator being involved, that Riri's father had to be removed from the narrative of this here show.
From the trailer, at least.
You know, I mean, if we're sticking with the pattern, that's what it seems like. But I could be wrong about that. You're absolutely right, Joe Monger. That is not set in stone. I also am a little bit off put by making her one of the smartest women in the Marvel universe, but at the same time, immediately roping her up in crime as the main through line. Not to mention, when we left off with Riri, she was connected to Wakanda erroneously. And now that doesn't seem to have carried over in any meaningful degree, at least in not any degree that they're willing to market. So what is it that we're actually doing with Riri? What are you doing with her? You know, I heard Dre Mac was talking about this. Well, we need to support it in spite of that, because there's so many racists trying to draw it down. And I agree, there are. I mean, the Discussing Film had to turn off their comments about when they posted the trailer. It's ridiculous. At the same time, what has Marvel done for me as a consumer? I'm a consumer. I pay for the services. I deserve to be, serviced in some way. Why is it upon me to fight back negative criticism of their product as a consumer? Now, if I so choose to do that, if it lines up with any other political inclinations or just my basic morals, then do so. But just viewing it as a watcher of Disney Plus, as a Marvel fan, why the hell is it incumbent on me to stand up with my swords and shields and fight for a project that you won't even market, that you don't even give a damn with? You're not even given the benefit of a weekly release. You're dumping them out 3 at a time, doing some bullshit. Yeah, like what is...
And the trailer comes the same day as the Superman trailer. What? There's only a limited amount of time these people have to cover, like major outlets, YouTubers, whoever covers superhero stuff. Why in the world, on the same day as Superman, would you release your trailer? You're just robbing your chance of the free advertising that we do as content creators, that TikTokers go and say, hey, what do you think they're going to talk about more, Superman on that day or Iron Man, or Heart? Well, their comment sections are going to be lit up talking about Superman or Ironheart. Ironheart. It was so stupid. When they found out when the Superman trailer was coming, which was a day ahead, they should have said, oh no, you know what? We changed our minds. Ironheart trailer is coming on Friday, not Thursday, or not Wednesday.
I mean, to be fair, maybe they thought there would be some residual effect. It's a day when multiple superhero-related things are coming out, so everybody will watch both trailers.
You're not being fair. Do you think that though? Do you really?
I don't think that. But I also think that they were behind as well. And so at this later date, any time that you're releasing feels inadequate because we're so close to the release. So it's kind of, it was bad to do it on Superman Day, but we're at a point now where any day they would have done it probably would have been less than favorable because you're so close to the release. You haven't had time to do anything to revitalize the brand. Again, we left Riri Williams back in 2022. It's 2025. Midway through 2025 too. So do you not feel it necessary to reintroduce her to audiences if you're dead set on releasing this project? That's what the conflict comes from. Should they have Batgirled it? Well, if they didn't plan on actually selling the shit, maybe.
Who can reply? Accounts Discussing Film mentioned can reply. So that they have actually did what you said. That's crazy. I've never seen Discussing Film do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything nice to say about this. Do I agree with Dre Mack as far as, yes, I am Issa Rae. I want to support everything Black and, be there for Dominic Thorne because I'm mad for her. I don't know if she is mad, but I'd be mad, but I'm mad for her. You're telling me that and this is what I was saying before we started doing super chats about segueing in, because we were talking about Fantastic Four and if it would do better than how it's going to do opposed to Superman. Like Lawrence said, he kind of took the words out of my mouth in his comment that he made. With each project, they are doing more and more damage to the Marvel brand. You have this coming out in June that no one, I don't care who you are. Yes, you have people that are going to watch. I've seen some people like Leo Rydell on Twitter and some others that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to watch. I'm going to support this. And, Dre and others. And, for the fact of it being a Black project, I am really wrestling with watching it. I am. And I'm wrestling with it because, yes, I want to support. But at the same time, I'm on the side that Marcus is on. What the fuck has Marvel done for me as a fan lately? And not only that, why should I care about this when Marvel themselves don't give a fuck about it? You release it the same day that Superman dropped their trailer. Dumb as fuck. Like you guys said, you're dropping 3 episodes 1 week and then 3 the next week. And then you want us to care when this is a show that takes place 3 days after a failed film, regardless of what you think about the movie. A failed film? A film that I didn't even give a fuck about? Fuck you. I don't get it. And like you guys said, discussing film, turning off that's something that also is kind of driving me to want to watch it because the racist and the people that are being the way they're being toward this and all that kind of stuff. But it's tough. It's tough because I don't care. I have zero. Brother, I didn't finish Daredevil. So what? I do not care to watch this show. Like, your trailer didn't interest me. The trailer that you showed didn't interest me. If Mephisto shows up, I was interested in Mephisto showing up in 2021. In 2025 with everything.
Like 4 years ago.
Anymore. I don't care. The point again, it's to me, this is the Thunderbolts Black Widow effect. Maybe not a bad series, just like Thunderbolts and Black Widow, depending on the side of the fence. Not that bad of films. Wrong time. Wrong fucking time. You release Black Widow at the wrong time. You release Thunderbolts at the wrong time. You're releasing this series at the wrong fucking time. People don't care. So that's why it's got 50%, like you just pulled up, 50% less or 50% more dislikes than likes on YouTube. So and again, that is the racist and everything going into that. But I promise you that we're in a place where people just don't care, bro. And I saw somebody say if this was a white, I wrestle with that too. Someone said if this was a white guy in this place, no one would have this argument. I'd have this argument. I still have my same argument.
Do you think the kid from Iron Man 3, if they would have made him Ironheart for some reason, do you think that would have made a difference?
If we waited this long,
Morgan Stark.
If we waited this long, I still say possibly. But because he is in such hot, he was, everybody fan casted him and wanted him so bad. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know on the effect of that. But I do think that time plays a big role in everything that we're watching right now. Time. You expect us to care about some street level shit that has not shit to do with what's going on when you got Robert Downey Jr. posting pictures from the Doomsday set, posting certain comics that are no one cares about Ironheart. I mean, come on. Stop.
So if they continue on this trend, Brave New World, Thunderbolts underperforming, Ironheart's going to be what it is, Eyes of Wakanda, and then we're already expecting, it sounds like a consensus that Fantastic Four is going to be coming in third in their big July showdown. So then is there another line? Is there another canary in the coal mine moment? Is there another come to Jesus breaking point? Is it Fantastic Four? Or do we just keep chugging ahead and telling ourselves, nope, Doomsday's going to save us. Doomsday's going to save us.
We are there. They have had that epiphany. But it just sucks because a lot of these projects have been in development for 3 years. So they kind of knew it. When Brave New World happened, they knew it, but Thunderbolts will still have to come. So
what about? I'm saying Fantastic Four is something new. It was something considered. It was something that was very, very vital.
Marcus, it hasn't failed.
It hasn't failed.
So then don't use it.
But I'm saying, let's just assume, even if it does well financially, it is absolutely not beating Jurassic World. I can stamp it. A Charles Barkley guarantee. Okay, not happening. But it could beat Superman, maybe. But let's say it doesn't.
Well, to give it, stop using competition to try to besmirch it. What
No,
will it make?
it will
800
do
million,
that.
900 million? What?
You're discounting that. That's what happened to the first Mission Impossible Reckoning, right? It was sandwiched in between Barbenheimer, between Oppenheimer and Barbie. It wasn't that it wasn't a good film. There just wasn't enough movie mass to go around at that point. They were feeding $2 billion films. The same thing could happen for Fantastic Four. If they underperform financially because of that, they'll have no choice to count it as a failure. Then what do we do? Is my point.
Okay. Yeah. When
Then
we get to that day, I think they'll make enough to be profitable. I think they gross 700 million at least. But
from Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Then it's going to beat Superman. You think Superman's going to make $700 million?
Man of Steel made $700 million.
This ain't Man of Steel.
This is not Superman. They actually used the title of the character. It's going to help.
Yeah. I again, I'm not the big Superman guy, but please don't disrespect Man of Steel with this nonsense that we got coming up here. Don't disrespect it. Don't disrespect it.
Most iconic superhero in the world.
And I also think too, you go look at played Wiccan. I don't know. I'm blanking on his
name.
No, his real name.
I can see the face. I don't have the name.
I forget his name. You go look at his Instagram and you look at the trailers that he reposted from Marvel and his caption for
hold up.
Agatha. And you go look at what Dominique Thorne posted for her caption for Ironheart.
Which one should I go to first?
Whichever. Again, Joe Locke. Thank you. I don't know why I was blinking. Joe Locke. Again, Marvel doesn't give a fuck about this because
it just says yeah. It says why you
damn Blue 8 maybe 9 mil. Where is this audience coming from, y'all?
Look who liked it. Eve Ewing. That's funny. The comic book writer liked it. Anyways, look, I'll make a comment on this poster while we're still on this topic. Is that she's black and look how little she is. Look how small her skin is on this poster, right? Like they're doing the creative thing with the suit behind her.
This poster's trash.
Yeah, but she's black and they can't be too proud of it.
I didn't want to say it.
This poster's trash. Everybody talking about, the poster's so cool. You're lying. This poster's trash.
And it just makes her look
I can
like
make that in Canva.
Tony Stark.
Everything about it
looks like a derivative Tony Stark.
And to answer Executive Judge, actually, no, I thoroughly enjoyed Thunderbolts. But as far as like this stuff, like no. This is not going to. I don't think this is not going to do well. Not going to do well.
October 14, Joe Locke says, "If the crown fits, hey Billy." Is this what you mean?
Yeah, just leaning into the character, actually getting, she put That's my boys would reply that to me when I'd be like, hey, I'm on my way to pick you up for practice. Yeah.
Well, look how much of his face gets to be on the poster.
Yeah, well, let's use her saying
zoomed all the way in, huh? Nice close shot.
It's not a pattern, everybody. It's not a coincidence.
That poster's not good.
Not a coincidence, it's a pattern.
No, for sure. Y'all, I think y'all are very lofty about the Superman expectations, man. The last superhero movie that we had that performed in that range was Wolverine and Deadpool. And certainly nobody here thinks that this is a Wolverine and Deadpool level movie that's coming out. But you know what? I also haven't talked very specifically about what I think is going to kill the narrative on this movie either. I think if a lot of people was pay attention to probably what Darius and I know about where this is going story-wise, I think it's going to turn a lot of people off. I don't think that the things that you don't want to see in a James Gunn Superman movie are going to be held back. I don't think the guy can not do his thing. I think he's probably worked very hard at making it work with this character. I still think it's going to be too much.
On the Ironheart front, I'm liking what I've seen from that trailer. The criminality aspect of it has been hidden. It's almost like they've been listening to criticism.
Superman, Executive Judge.
Wait. The what is hitting?
Riri Williams isn't doing criminal acts in the trailer. She's not being seen as this scoundrel person. They humanized her more than what they were going for originally with the Shaka Khan version of a trailer from D23 that we saw. They're treating her like a smart person. You come down the elevator, you do a little thing, and you can fix the elevator. Like, it actually feels like the character isn't, stereotype heavy. But I haven't seen the show yet.
Right. I mean, if it's a fake out and she turns the money down and doesn't end up working for the hood. But again, if we're taking the context clues of the trailer, the deeper we got into the trailer, the more it seems like the relationship with that figure is going to be an issue. There are other characters that mention her relationship to him and what she's been dragging herself into as a result. So it is implied that whatever comes of that relationship is not positive.
They definitely have a relationship. A spoiler warning, plot did come out. Yeah, she has a relationship with the hood, not like a romantic one, but they have a relationship. Right,
but she's working for him.
Yeah, she's working
and that's
for
what
him.
I don't like. You take a high school age girl that can graduate from MIT and you make her go scrounge for dollars, because that's what you do with your powers when you've been to Wakanda. You go and steal shit for people.
And then that again, again shows you why the fuck are you using the incompetence of Wakanda? Like Wakanda, you basically the whole plot around her, bro. Like, so why would they just abandon her? Why would they not where? That's it. Bro,
it's because these actors that you want Winston Goop, you want Okoye and Oya and Shuri, and you want all these great people to be appearing and being involved in it, right? Where's the Wakandans at? They cost money. Actors are too expensive right now, and that's why they're not going to be crossing over the way that you want. It makes sense to have crossover. The actors cost too much.
Do we think Kevin Feige's whining about continuity is contract disputes? You don't think it's contract disputes?
Okay, well, if
I think his problem with keeping things connected is that just what you said, it's complicated keeping all these actors under contract and trying to get them to come back, and then they want more money. They may or may not be as popular as they were when they signed their original deal.
The original deal was signed before Disney Plus. Before Disney Plus was a thing, they were signed to be in the 2018 movie Black Panther.
Okay. No, I'm saying in general. I'm not talking Black Panther right now. I'm saying, as a studio head, do you think this constant having to go back and renegotiate and make people happy on contracts is why he wants to disconnect the universe?
No.
So that it's less dependent on keeping old actors in contract.
No, it's an issue of effort. He doesn't want to put in the effort. So he's just like, these are standalone. You see, you don't have to do required homework. Nah. You, the creator, don't want to have to infuse past storylines and everything. Don't say that. Don't lie.
So you're before that you were implying that it was too expensive to get Letitia Wright or Denai to be in the show.
I'm just being pragmatic. What you're asking for is for Riri Williams to feature her Wakandan history.
That's fine. Don't use Letitia Wright. If the ticket's too expensive, don't use her. If Denai is too, don't use her. You got Io. You got other members.
Use Io.
You got other members from the Dora Milaje that could show up. She showed up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let me hear them drums in Ironheart. Yeah, might get excited. I can
see that happening.
It should happen. It makes zero sense for it not to happen.
Was she advertised in Falcon Winter Soldier?
Who?
Io.
No, but it's kind of like were we not all before that show kind of speculating like Wakanda should show up because of the relationship with Bucky? No.
Well, so
wait, hold on. What you're asking for, it hasn't happened yet. They may do exactly what happened in Falcon. Well, shouldn't Wakanda be in this? You're saying that, and they haven't advertised it because it's going to be a surprise at the end of episode 3, so they don't want to tell you that it's happening. But Io could very much be in the show.
Let's turn it around a bit.
The cheapest Wakandan actor.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is different because their narrative of Sam and Bucky being together in this buddy show is not set by the Wakandans. Like, that shit is not set up by the Wakandans.
It's a vibranium shield.
Still not necessarily the setup for the pairing or the narrative of the show. Riri Williams' existence in the MCU is by way of Wakanda. So
Bucky
again,
Barnes being not psychically brainwashed by way of
that's not the same thing as being
It's
literally
It's not the same thing, but it's a
that
thing.
introduced you into the universe.
Exactly.
Like, we wouldn't have Riri Williams if it wasn't for Wakanda Forever.
They shoehorned her into Wakanda Forever.
So I'm gonna give them the time to reveal it. If it comes out in episode 3 and there's Wakanda reveal, then cool.
Mhm.
I'm saying though, if they abandon it and they isolate this show like they've done all of their projects here since Endgame, pretty much, a few exceptions. But if they do that, then what the fuck was Wakanda Forever for? Like, actually, what was the entire movie for?
The greatest black superhero needed to be dead because white power. That's what it was there.
Listen,
Beyond that, like Jesus,
especially with the film taking place 3 days after Wakanda Forever on the MCU timeline, you don't think they're gonna just call and say, "Hey, we're just no, you haven't seen any blue people show up and
Africa
try to
was
kill
hot.
you, have
Time
you?"
to go steal.
Like, why would they not call? Like, I'm not saying they're not because we haven't seen the show, but just like, I don't know, bro. It just feels it's weird. It's weird to not advertise Wakanda in this. I guess I guess that's weird to me because you made her the focal point of outside of killing T'Challa. You made her the whole MacGuffin of the film. She's the reason the Queen Mother's even dead because she was protecting this girl. So why the fuck? It doesn't make sense to me. It does not make any sense to me. Doesn't like advertise it. Advertise it. It's like Samuel Jackson said. Why have none of the niggas been to Wakanda? Why is Wakanda not involved with this? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. We protected this girl. We protected this girl. Went to war with the water people on the water, losing our intelligence for this girl. We lost our queen for this girl. And now we're just peace. Thanks.
Let's cast a Wakandan character who's gonna appear in all the movies and all the TV shows, and we get an unknown actor, but someone to tie things up so we can have it.
What if they don't even show up physically? Like, who's in charge? Is M'Baku still in charge? So he calls her digitally.
That's fine. I would accept.
I am making sure you are taking care of. Oh no, that's not African. I am making sure you are taking care of our technology, unlike Princess Shuri. Making sure you are taking care of our vibranium technology.
Who scoffs at tradition?
I, King M'Baku,
I accept the challenge.
Glory to Anoman.
Yeah, you're doing better than that kid did. We got super chats.
I've been boozy since I left. I ain't changing for a check. Tell my mind I ain't forget.
Should black people campaign for Ironheart like recast T'Challa to combat the negative, low vibrational, racist peeps nuking the trailer? Short answer, no.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big enough audience for it.
I think the project itself is perpetuating low vibrational narratives. So, but we can't guarantee that. I'm not telling you not to go see Ironheart.
Me either.
I am just telling you it puts us in a very precarious position as a viewer to want to stand up and really protect a product that is so poorly put together and marketed that, like, is very obviously showing that they had very little care for it. If somebody is I don't want to make that analogy. It's just people show you how much they care about your business. And if that's how much they care, eventually it's time to walk away. At least for me.
And that's the point too. And I've said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to get myself to Secret Wars and Doomsday. I'm going to get myself there. If I don't feel, I'm really looking at that T'Challa stuff, even though I don't think it's happening. I'm looking at how we're going to be represented in these, and especially in Avengers Doomsday and Secret War, and I want to see it wrapped up. Now, after that wrap up, if I don't feel represented and I don't feel, I won't be joining in the soft reboot because Black Panther 3 without T'Challa, I already have nothing. There's already nothing there for me. As much as I would like to see the X-Men and things like that, I'm just like, I'm at that point. I really am, because you buried T'Challa. Monica, you canceled. We didn't get Blade. We didn't get Armor Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You introduced Ironheart. No one was asking for her. You shoehorned her in to kill even the Queen Mother, and now on top, so you've done all this with these black projects. You have the moment in June. You could have even done Juneteenth and you really could have went somewhere with all this marketing and bringing in the community and blah 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 blah. You had the moment to do that, and yet you still piss
Ironheart
on
coming
black
out on
folks.
Juneteenth?
Yeah, why not?
Ironheart not premiering on Juneteenth?
Because the
y'all have a
marketing
single
team
black
over
person
there
in the
is crazy.
office.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
the same
But
reason why
you have Ryan Coogler. If he is supposed to champion the show, like he reading that teleprompter, like people were thinking he was doing in the Ironheart featurette, you have him. Why not him suggest? Where the fuck was he 45 days ago when the trailer hadn't dropped?
This is Donald Trump's America, and we're not going to drop it on DEI 18th day.
That is crazy.
We're also going to pull the drag racing scene that we filmed earlier because there's no signs of that from the trailer. We're not looking to get that kind of attention. No.
They're going to put it in June and not put it on Juneteenth. That's like having a Hispanic character. If you was going to do a White Tiger series, putting it in May, but not on May 5th. What are you doing? Use the damn marketing.
Okay. That's a great point. They're doing it on June 24th, not the June 19th. To answer this Lawrence question, though, no way. It's developing some sort of a cult following, though, of like, this is racially inequality and we got to get angry for it. They're not supporting.
Good on those people.
I'm with Marcus when I say support the good stuff. So Forever is on Netflix, 8 episodes. Let's go and give that, inspired by a Judy Blume book. Let's give that our love. Let's give that
already
attention.
Renewed for season 2.
Omar Sy and Kerry Washington have a new movie. It's an action flick called Shadow Force. Decent film. It's like, it's a decent film. It's got action. It's got a little twist. It's got support that. Spend your money there. But I'm not writing out like for T'Challa. Nah. For top tier great representation. I'm not doing that for Riri. I'm not doing that for a secondary character who they have displayed to me they don't care about. Kobe. My boy bust his Achilles and just did like a Guitar Hero commercial. Shout out to Jason Tatum, by the way, Kobe's protege, his hero. Colonel Arnold says, I want to see the Justice Lords in the DC universe instead of in Justice League. That's for you, Marcus.
Cool.
I want to add to that last part there about what we said about Ironheart or whatever. Yeah, remember before Agatha came out, they had the whole internet singing "Down, Down the Goddamn Witch's Road." And this was way before the show came out. That was marketed. They marketed the hell out of that. The hell out of it. They even they even did the acoustic version. Okay, so there were 2 versions. There was a studio version and the acoustic version. You got 2 versions of "Down the Witch's Road" for marketing a month prior to Agatha coming out, and then you had the 16 name changes months prior to the show coming out. So yeah, no, they don't care about
Holes had a song come out before. Frozen had to Let It Go come out right before the movie. And sometimes putting out thank you. Sometimes having that song come out, it helps out the movies, right? As far as Injustice League, I'll give you this. They got to do something to be different. So if you're leading towards this, it'll be a great twist. So I don't know. Yeah, James Gunn, man, I'm willing to give you a try.
Mm-hmm.
We got big money coming now.
Money big, twin glocks, hellin' live. Niggas hate, Uncle Tom, spin them off me, carousel, get them off me, go to hell.
Sir, kill him soft, tech, put you for ransom, me, I put you in a coffin. Michael Nemo with $10 says, Marcus, the original Supes was so overpowered they put him on Earth 2, called him the Golden Age Superman.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean, though. But that's what, I agree with that version of him. Even in my distaste for him as a character, what I don't like is when you have a character that's built up like that and you find very mundane human things that trip him up physically, right? Like there are heroes that you would see beaten and battered and needing of assistance. There's only like a handful of those situations for Superman, and beyond that, it should be total destruction for him.
Mopping up planets, mopping oil spills with his super hair. They depowered him after Crisis in 1985, the first ever multiversal, and it was supposed to clean up all the multiversal timeline stuff. That's not exactly how it worked. We still got a whole bunch of more gunk with that in comic books, and movies have learned no lesson. They're literally doing the same exact mistakes with the multiverse stuff. Everything doesn't mean anything anymore. Who cares if this is Wolverine? Because Hugh Jackman's Wolverine died, but now Hugh Jackman play another Wolverine. It's the same thing.
Everything's a cycle, man. Everything goes in turn.
There's no T'Challa in any universe, cartoons, video games. There's no T'Challa. More super chats.
Guess T'Challa fell off the wheel.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Latrell de la Ghetto Bradshaw says, I think it would have been smart to pair Riri up with Rhodey and Armor Wars. Yeah, I agree. And they're supposed to be back-to-back TV shows at one point. Armor Wars, since you can't have Riri a protege of Tony, it'd be dope to see Rhodey as a mentor. He's been with us since phase 1.
I mean, another derivative Iron Man character, so it makes a lot more sense than the Wakandan tie, but it also gives you a chance, again, to get her back in front of audiences and refresh her when you're about to promote her series. Why didn't this come out near Wakanda Forever? When did this come out 6 months after Wakanda Forever? I don't know what came out 6 months after Wakanda Forever. I know it didn't have to be over Ironheart if we just had that movie come out. All of this talk of, oh man, you gotta stop doing homework. Fam, if you haven't seen Wakanda Forever in the 3 years since it came out, you're not going to see it. That's not homework. It's not homework. You're giving people a quarter of a decade to watch and catch up.
Not just Wakanda Forever, but any movie. And so then why are you making suffer the people who watch all your stuff for the sake of the people who don't watch your stuff? 3 years is enough. Thank you, Latrell. More supers. Damn, we got a lot. I already played that one. Hold up.
I'm yelling free, be nasty, till my throat is raspy. Young, rich, and flashy. I be where the cash be.
Blessing the stream with some loony. What is loony? Loony, that's a Canadian dollar, right? You think that's how we talk? We don't talk like that. Loonies. No, we'll just say $5. We'll say $5. We'll say a fin. We won't say that though. Thank you for the blessings, Lawrence. Appreciate you. And then another super chat, and I clicked on that one before I clicked on the song.
I'ma get money no matter the cost. Having some water, I'm having some boats. Got that dope dick, that show lows. He's a worker and I am a boss.
You abandoned me. The Culture Made channel with $2. Soup's gonna do at least 700 million. At least 700 million. Why is that a question, right, Marcus? Yo, Marcus, get out of here, bro. We don't need you here. Superman is making 700 million United States dollars box office gross because they'll make it, right? Right, Darius? 700 million. We got 700 million. Appreciate the love. Let's get to our next topic. Nope, one more super chat.
Need a ride, I can rank you up. Money, I can change you up. You can have your own, no longer be the passenger.
Brian Fisher. It's not a stream unless Brian Fisher drops something. No T'Challa, no Black Panther 3, and nobody asked for Ironheart. I'm the same way. And for all of you no T'Challa, no ticket peoples, T'Challa and Black Panther is going to have a trending day. Recast T'Challa trending day coming July 1st. It's the anniversary of this character when he debuted in the Fantastic Four issue 52. Our next trending day. Our next stand, we're not going to be paying no money to see a Black Panther 3 without T'Challa. That's the next highlighted day. So you should schedule your tweets now. July 1st, recast T'Challa trending day.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I had to run and get my charger before the laptop died.
All good. What's our next topic?
We've been on for an hour already?
It's been a lot, but we're not going to talk about Creed, the TV show, for that long, though. It's about the gym.
Yeah, I saw that. I like it. I
Article.
like building out the Creed universe. I also appreciate Michael B. Jordan's narrative. I like where he's trying to push the story. I I don't know if this is necessarily. I see you branded it as Creed 4 as a series, or when we're at least when we're talking about it. I don't know if this is going to be a direct follow up to Creed 3, just because the way they explained it, it sounds more spin-offy. Like Michael B. Jordan won't be starring in most of the series. I don't think he'll probably appear. Probably use this to build up other characters, especially Amara. That's what I'm most intrigued about in this. Do they use this to build up her character so that by the time we do get to Creed 4, they've done basically what they should have done with Riri Williams, but with Amara Creed. They've given the audience a chance to see her ascension, see her pitfalls, go through the training, go through, any type of complication she has, maybe with her hearing in relation to boxing, how that can be used as an advantage against her. Because we know that she's going to be immensely talented due to her lineage, right? So I would love to see that maturation happen in this series, as well as other surrounding characters they can probably get into. I wouldn't be mad if he brought in other.
I read the article, bro. Like I pulled it up and everything.
Did you? Oh, let's go. Do it.
Why are you surprised? What do you mean? Did you? You don't see the screen?
Talking, fam. I'm not paying attention to what's happening on the screen.
Really?
Honestly, I'm going. I'm talking. I'm looking all over the place.
I don't know. The more you know. I thought it was like very, very obvious. Like, yo, you got the article already. Read it, but you're not even looking at the screen.
I was going. I was off. But sure, let's find out what it's about.
Yeah. A Creed TV show has officially been greenlit by Prime Video, released in 2015. Creed is a Rocky spin-off movie. We already know that, okay? Per Prime Video, a Creed TV series has officially been greenlit. The show will be called Delphi and take place in the Creed franchise's Delphi gym. Focusing on younger boxers, the showrunner will be Marco Ramirez, and Michael B. Jordan will serve as one of the show's executive producers.
Okay.
Other executive producers include Liz Raposo, don't know who that is, Erwin Winkler, and David Winkler and Charles Winkler. I don't know who they are, but they may be associated with Creed and other movies. What this means for the Creed franchise, how will Delphi be connected to the Rocky Creed universe? That's a stupid question. Delphi will be first TV show with Creed franchise in 2023. It was announced the Creed franchise would be expanding, the Delphi being the first series. The first series. The announcement did not include a log line for the upcoming series, but it mentioned that it would focus on young boxers within the Delphi gym. See, you're getting to the Amara thing that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The announcement did not say Jordan would be an actor in the show, despite him being in the lead of the Creed trilogy. His role as executive producer, however, will allow him to continue his behind-the-scenes career. Let me just say one thing about this. If he's not on the show, but he's only executive producing, I would be extremely, extremely turned off. John Wick is appearing in Ballerina coming up, right? We just complained for a long time about how there's no Wakandans going to show up in Ironheart. We want continuity, and we want that. If you're this anime nerd, like Michael B. Jordan, if you're all this, you're one of us. You like Goku. You like if you're one of those people, there's no way you would hold out at appearing on this TV show. Just come for like one day. Come on set.
Yeah. Well, I mean, assuming he's going to be there more than one day on set if he's the executive producer. But I do think he shows up. Now, how big of a role does he have in the overall show?
Doesn't have to be big.
Yeah, not big. Probably
He's
not
got to
big.
be in the trailer.
But yet you can't be practicing here in Adonis Creed's gym and never see Adonis Creed. That would be very well, the Penguin did it. They did it all right. They did it with Gotham. But I don't think that's what we're dealing with here. I think he needs to show up at least once.
Chill, stop being so adversarial, dang. Is that when I interrupted Marcus for going adversarial? All right. I have no regrets for interrupting you because it was on screen for a while. But
again, wasn't paying attention to the screen. Was more focused on the words coming out of my mouth.
I think it's more so in the middle of thought to the audience. Because if you'd have cut me off, I'd have kept going and said, "Fuck your article."
Delphi is not his.
You wouldn't have gone that long though. You would have saw that the thing was up, and then you would have been like,
"It's not down it." Yeah. You know, I'm a dipshit. Apparently, that Delphi is not Creed's gym.
It's Duke's gym.
Duke's gym. Okay.
But it is Creed's gym because that's the one that he fights at.
That's where he trained at. Wait, when when dude pulled up on him, when Damien pulled up on Adonis at the gym, that wasn't Delphi.
It was Delphi. That is Delphi. But who
That
does it
felt
belong
like
to?
he owned that gym. Did he buy that gym? Is it his now? Is he financing it? Like he
I
got no
mean,
reason to be
actually,
there
you might be right. It might be Michael B. Adonis's creed. It might be.
now. Maybe he owns it now. But it definitely seemed like he was some sort of owner. He ain't boxing no more. He ain't got no reason to be there that often.
So Wood Harris
Maybe
would
go back to
star in
watch Creed
this.
3.
Yeah, Wood Harris would be in here for sure. You wouldn't do it without him.
I think he would be a semi-lead. He would probably be the patriarch of the series. He would be the older, wiser mentor figure.
But the lead would be a real fighter who's
Absolutely.
we're living through.
Yep.
How old do you cast this fighter for?
18 to 25, somewhere in the, not even that high. Honestly, I would go maybe 16 to 21, junior circuit, young fighters, before we even have a name in amateur boxing. Young, like cutting the grass. Because if we're talking to Mara Creed, she's not going to be fighting anybody who's competing professionally. So that kind of zeroes all that out. You got to get somebody who's fighting like junior Olympics level.
You know, you also could have a male lead and a female lead, and then a romance could happen from there.
Sure. As long as it's not bogging down the overall narrative. I don't know about sometimes when they introduce love stories into more action-driven narratives, it turns to kind of like muddy the waters. Like it ends up being this, all right, I want to see somebody fight right now. I didn't want to have this deep conversation about why you didn't text or, you know, your ex-girlfriend showing up at this event. Like, come on, man, we boxing right now, or we're shooting, or whatever it is. I don't like blurring the lines. We're going to have an emotional talk. I at least like to know in advance.
Yeah.
Hello, baby.
Dead air. Is that it on Creed?
I guess so.
For me.
Treat the comic books like it's canon. Like, I spent money on that stuff. There's 4 issues of the Mara Creed story. Make sure that the characters you introduce there exist in this world too. This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
So there's no time restrictions. Oh, we got a 2-hour movie. We don't have time. No, you got to fill in airtime. Give me the brother of Adonis Creed. You know, the one that from the real parents.
From the real parents. Yeah. Expand on that family. You know what I mean? Like that. That's the toughest stuff that made me interested in the miniseries. And that's what makes me appreciate that Michael B. Jordan has gotten behind the camera to drive this narrative forward. And, you know, Ryan's doing his own thing with Sinners and other ventures he got going on. I think this is a good lane for him. I think this is a good direction.
And if it's not trash, we'll treat it like it's lovely and we'll support it the way we support Forever on Netflix. It already feels like the right thing to do. It feels like, yes, just like Ironheart, it's spinning off of the movies. But I think there's going to be some more care with this one than we do with Ironheart, Riri Williams. Do you think they should go to the way of Cobra Kai, but without the 80s camp?
As long as we still have ties back to either the Rocky universe or the Creed family in real ways, then I feel like that could work. I feel like the Cobra Kai angle could work.
Got it. That is
Darius?
it.
Cobra Kai for Creed?
I mean, sure. Cobra Kai got very corny there toward the end. That finale was whoofishy. So yeah, but yeah, if handled correctly, you know, don't get too, like he said about the 80s camp, don't get too campy with it, then sure it could work. Speaking of Cobra Kai, I heard that new Karate Kid sucks.
Oh, did y'all see the early review that we read on Sunday?
Oh,
buddy, absolutely awful. Absolutely awful.
I heard it's terrible.
Karma. I think it's karma. Why would y'all just try to Heisman Jaden Smith out of coming back in this movie.
I said the same thing. I said, wait a minute. How is everybody returning but Jaden?
Why the hell is Jackie Chan even here if Jaden doesn't exist? Yes, I left Black Boy back in China with his mom, Taraji P. Henson. Now I fight with you, Ralph Macchio.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, especially I don't want to spoil the film for anybody. The other cameos that are supposed to be happening, it's like, wait a minute.
Hilary Swank was in this one?
Stop it. Don't spoil
What? They got the Karate Kid from 90s?
That is insane if Hilary Swank is here and they
said all the cameos. Who else could it be?
That is crazy.
Oh, I want to see this now.
Just other cameos. So if I'm just like, where the fuck is Jaden? Because there's no way he beat dude.
Trying to blackball the Smith family. We can't stand.
Maybe he's a cameo. See, that's what's happening.
He had the whole snake thing. Like, first of all, that's one of my favorite Karate Kids. I don't care what anybody says. That one is great. I love that one. So I was really expecting him to be in this because it doesn't make sense for Jackie to be there. Because in the trailer, doesn't Jackie
not
go
$1 million
to Ralph?
Baby?
Yeah, in the trailer, Jackie goes to Ralph, right, and says, "I need your help" or something.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, what did he say? Oh, that's what he's talking to the kid. You're to me what he was to Mr. Miyagi. And I'm thinking to myself, brother, in that moment I thought he was gonna say,
like, absolutely
he's to Mr. Miyagi what my protege Xiao Zhe was to me, and now we're going to all teach you. But it's like, fuck Xiao Zhe.
Yeah, like, literally,
bro,
fuck that man.
Crazy. It's crazy,
bro. Jackie Chan was in retirement. He wasn't doing shit with no kung fu. He was gonna die in that apartment, smoking a cigarette or something. And then here comes little Happy Jaden. Ooh, you want to teach me karate, sir? And turn your whole life around. Now you traveling the world. You done found Ralph Macchio. You know who Mr. Miyagi is all of a sudden. Who is this person?
Right. Yeah, that's true what Blue said, though. Jaden hasn't been anything since that awful
since After Earth.
Awful.
Since After Earth. And that's crazy that he's allowed. He can't get one flop. We can't get one flop. He did Pursuit of Happiness. We liked Karate Kid when it came out with Jackie Chan initially.
I still like that one.
I still like that Karate Kid. So, like, what? He can't have a flop? He can have one flop? Give that man a break. And as far as his eccentricism or, any of the other maybe off the camera stuff that people feel first of all, y'all let Ezra Miller in them film. So I don't want to hear that. Y'all let Ezra Miller act. So I don't want to hear none of that. He can be as eccentric as he want to be off the camera and still get work. Maybe he doesn't want to act. I never really gauged that as a possibility. Maybe he doesn't want to be.
I don't think he wants to. He's doing, and to be real, he's doing way more positive. He might be a weirdo, but he is doing way more positive things out there. I think he has this whole water program for like homeless and like clean water and getting it to certain areas that don't have water. So he's really involved in that. Obviously, his fashion stuff that he does, but I don't think he wants to act. I think After Earth I did a number on him. That movie's awful.
I never really entertained it as an option. Maybe he just doesn't want to act. But who doesn't want to pay that?
That's true. Urban Guru said he did the series After Earth. That Lowdown or whatever the series was on Netflix where he had the afro.
He was in the Get Down?
The Get Down.
Jaden Smith was in the Get Down?
Was he not? He had the afro, right?
Mm-hmm. That was the one boy from the Magical Negroes.
No, I'm telling you. I think.
And Shamik Moore.
No, hold on.
I don't think Jaden Smith was in the Get Down.
He was on a Netflix series.
It
was the Get Down. It was the Get Down. Yes, he was on the Get Down.
Lord have mercy, Michael Nemo. What an awful take.
And then Jaden Cara Delvigne did a love movie a few years ago.
That's true. Okay, you know what? Let me step back on Jaden.
He was in the Get. Why don't I remember Jaden Smith in the Get Down?
Let me step back on Jaden. That's true. He was in that with Cara.
Okay, so he wants to act. Then we can eliminate that as a possibility. Why is he not in this movie? Why is he not in this movie?
Guilty by association.
Fam, his father is acting currently. I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, people kill individuals. They drive drunk and murder people while they do it. And then they get to go to work in front of a camera. Some people accidentally murder people while they're on set and they get to release the film. Can y'all stop with this? Oh, his father is an asshole. All of Hollywood is filled with assholes. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Hey, and I still love Will. If you go back to when it happened, this channel, Planet Fanatics.
Oh, his father
never thought the
somebody in
slap was
public.
wrong, so.
How dare you think he can act again in Hollywood? Man, you better get on. You better get on somewhere with that mess. Meanwhile, again, all the stuff I just described, women, children, illicit drugs, but God forbid you have a dubious sexuality and a hot-tempered father. Oh my God. Off the studio, off the lot immediately.
Hey, I like the Smiths. Outside of red table toxic talk, I like the Smiths.
What y'all will take from other celebrities, but all of a sudden the Smiths are above reproach. Yo, no, we gotta ostracize them. Y'all are insane. I'll go ahead and say it right here on the mic. That is insanity.
Love Will. One of my favorite actors, and then on top of that, one of my favorite TV shows of all time is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So
you can have a criticism of him, but like that means his son can't act in Hollywood anymore. Are y'all crazy?
The funny thing is, this Karate Kid movie is a Sony movie, just like Bad Boys was. So I don't see why that they would hold it against him like you did his dad, right? That's weird. He could be a cameo. He could be appearance. Post-credit scene. They didn't shoot it yet, but it's coming.
Post-credit scene to lead to what? Another one?
Karate Kid 5.
There's a bigger enemy.
What is this? This is already 5, right?
Yeah. It's called Legends.
So what is this? The universe now? The Karate Kid universe? There's a bigger enemy now. And now we've got to travel. We need you.
There's a space dojo.
Come with me. Who are you? I'm Shao Dre from another dimension or something like that.
The Karate Kid multiverse is nuts.
The Karate Kid multiverse.
You fight people who've got 3 legs. They're even tougher. I think I was the only one that liked Jada and Gotham. Actually, I think I was the only one that liked Gotham.
Jada Pinkett Smith was in Gotham? Who was she?
No. I have heavy with the Smiths, even though Jada messes me up. Yeah, she is who she is.
What's so funny?
That static
It's
shock.
just how much they put her on the posters and shit you said.
Oh, she was in that show? Was she a good character? They mean to flick y'all off. My bad. Hold on. Bring it on back.
I have no idea. I didn't watch Gotham. But she was all over them posters.
Damn, come on, camera.
Fish Mooney. I know that name. Fish Mooney.
There we go. Boom. Sorry, y'all. This is dinner for me. Apologize.
Star Wars time. Yo, Tales of the Underworld. Great show. You can watch it with Asajj Ventress, and then you can watch it later on with Cad Bane.
It is pretty good. Not going to lie.
It came in a period of Andor. Season 2 of Andor has come to an end. They've completed it completely. Yay, Andor fans. I
heard the sequel to. I heard season 3 pops the fuck off. I heard Vader.
Season 3 of what?
Andor. Vader's in it.
How can we have 3 seasons of this show?
It's already out. It's already out. It's called
slow
Rogue
are
One.
they going?
It's called
Like
Rogue
each
One.
season must be 1 week.
It's already out. It's Rogue One.
I got where you're going.
Spoiler alert: Vader has a badass hall scene in it. So if you haven't seen season 3 of Andor, go to Disney Plus. It's called Rogue One. Go watch it.
Literally.
Go watch it.
I got nothing. I don't care about Andor. From like the news that's come out of the Andor finale, it's just a whole bunch of nothingness. It's just like characters who we know die. One of them's pregnant. So yay.
Who's pregnant? Somebody's pregnant in Andor?
I believe
Andor has a kid?
So they just gonna die? They're gonna kill the baby?
So the kid just didn't. So I didn't watch Andor, nor do I really give a fuck about diving this deep, but it is a topic, so I guess I'll engage. So he has a kid during Rogue One?
Not Cassian, but Bix. Bix was pregnant.
Who's Bix?
Bix is the woman, the woman with the scene.
I didn't make
the
it past
main
first
character,
episode
like the
of
main
season 1.
woman. The
Yeah, the main woman.
She was pregnant when she. That's terrible. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
It's awful.
And because she had a son with Cassian, it makes it his fate somehow more tragic. And
That is
Tony
awful.
Gilroy said, "I agree. It does 3 things for me. It does exactly what you said. I think it makes the sacrifice that much more bitter. And I think that for anybody who had any lingering doubts about Bix leaving in episode 9, it explains for anybody who was hesitant about buying into that scene." Sick.
I don't really like this guy. I think he needs to go find something else to do. I think he needs to find another sandbox.
Yeah, there's an interview answer here where he talks about they're built on hope. Oh
God.
Yeah, there's a scene where his son actually helps him out with the scene.
And he says what Jyn Erso says in Rogue One. Yes, rebellions are built on hope.
So it says, I agree. It does 3. Wait. Rebellions are built on hope. Isn't just a T-shirt. It's a legit flame that a lot of people need to see. So hopefully was ending on something that was upbeat, and it was important for me to do that. And then someone says, I love that line. And he goes, it's embarrassing. My office is my house. My son is a big Star Wars fan. So he comes over one day and he said, what you going to do about rebellions are built on hope? And I go, what do you mean? Well, who's going to say it? And I go, it comes up in Rogue. He said, but where did Cassian get it from? And I go, doesn't that come from somewhere else in the movie? He goes, no, it comes from nowhere. And I'm like, holy shit, I better find somebody to drop this in there.
No.
So my son really saved my ass on that.
No. Grant, okay.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Stop
Get him out of here.
Filoni would never.
Okay, now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to segue into some things that are being said about Filoni and Gilroy's current relationship right now.
That's the real battle.
That's the real story right now going on with Star Wars. Now, the fact that he said this is the main reason why I have said since day one, Tony Gilroy should not have been doing anything with Star Wars. The fact that she's talking about my son is a big Star Wars fan, brother, neither one of you are Star Wars fans, because if you were a Star Wars fan, you would have known that line that Andor says doesn't just come out of the fucking air. He got it from Jyn. Jyn said it first. He repeated it later. Like the fact that he said, holy shit, it didn't come from anywhere. That's crazy. This is why you don't have people working on projects that don't know shit about the fucking IP. He knows nothing about Star Wars. Why the fuck is he doing this? Why? It's crazy. He said, holy shit. No one does say it. It's funny because that scene, somebody took that meme of Leonardo and put Jin's head on it, of him, pointing at the screen. It's just like, yeah, that's my line.
That one, the pointing.
Yeah. So but anyway, so now you have what is being said about Dave Filoni and Tony Gilroy. So this was posted. It says, Dave Filoni gatekeeping Star Wars. New report suggests Filoni/Gilroy internal battle as Lucasfilm Creative's chiefs reject stories that don't match his vision. So obviously we know moving forward, Dave has a story that he is wanting to tell that we're going to, I guess, finish or pick back up in Ahsoka and moving forward with his movie and everything else like that. Not the Grogu Mando. Well, yeah, I think it plays a role, whatever. And forward. And then this was said. It said Joanna Robinson has revealed that she heard the same thing. Filoni is locking Star Wars down, and Andor got past him because of Kathleen Kennedy. Filoni doesn't like Andor and doesn't think it fits his Star Wars. Feel how you feel.
Yeah.
But my reporting has been correct again, and that was from Josh. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for everybody that loved Andor. That's just not the Star Wars. And I want to make it clear too. Are there moments that were put online, because I didn't watch Andor, that were put online that I said, okay, I really like that. Like Mon Mothma's speech. I love it because you hear that same speech in Rebels. It just carries over into that episode of Rebels, which I love. It's poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah.
But there were so many things within Andor that, like the show itself, that were unneeded. You have Rogue One. You didn't need this. You could have used so much time and effort on giving fans something that they want. And thank God Dave is stepping up as the chief creative and saying, you know what? Fuck that shit. It doesn't align with what we're doing in my vision and George's vision of Star Wars. Sorry.
You're right, Stamina. Only problem is that Mandu Grogu as a movie was not Dave's idea. That was Kathleen Kennedy's machinations. Let's put them on the screen together. Let's try to juice up the marketing machine. Let's try to do that.
Because remind you, Grogu's not even supposed to be with Mando. Not even supposed to be there. He should be with Luke.
Like, that's not what Dave Filoni wanted either. So
that's why Jon Favreau is getting the fuck out of Dodge, unless Dave can convince him to stay. That's why he's like, brother, she ruined everything we had going forward. We brought Luke back because that's what the fans wanted. He was supposed to be training with Luke, and the next time we saw him, Grogu was going to be older. I'm assuming he wasn't going to be doing that Goo Goo Gaga ass shit.
Yeah.
He'd have been trained in the Force with Luke. But no, they said merchandise, money. Throw him in an Iron Man fucking ATTE suit. And let's throw a Rancor in there to just to mix it all up. Yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't make any damn sense.
And you still going Goo Goo Gaga.
Still Goo Goo and Gaga. It doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I'm glad he's stepping up in his position and saying no, we're not going to do stupid shit at Lucasfilm.
Just pretend the sequels didn't happen. I will not do that, sir. I would not do that. Sequels have a special place in my heart. Wait. No. Ew. Sorry. Prequels. Not
I do
sequels.
that too.
Pretend the sequels are not there. Yeah, let's just pretend they're not there.
Saw somebody posted a meme from Wolf of Wall Street when he's talking to him at the table and he's like, oh, it's all Fugazi. But he said, that's going to be me when my kids ask me, Dad, what is 7, 8, and 9? Oh, it's all Fugazi. It's woo, we don't pay attention to that.
Jeez.
I think that's it on our Star Wars. Outside of Tales of the Underworld is good. I suggest you do watch that if you haven't seen it. If you like the animated stuff, it is good. Go check that out. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else Star Wars even coming out until 2026.
Is that a serious question, Brother Stark? Yeah, no, I'm a prequels fan, bro. Prequels fan, not sequels. That was a slip of tongue.
No.
Oh,
hell to the no.
So did y'all hear John Boyega's cheerleading about Rey's movie and how he's finally happy that she can have a franchise of her own?
There is that. There is.
What'd they do to John? What's going on, John?
They cut a check. They cut a check. They said, how many zeros is it going to take you to promote what no one wants? Fam.
That's more communication than we've gotten from Lucasfilm on that movie. So I still feel good.
Yeah, but then he went into talking about like stuff he wanted for Finn. And that's when it got confusing.
Like, what you mean? I thought never, ever, ever, ever. What do you mean? What do you want for Finn?
Yeah, I was like, what? So I don't really know. Is it happening? Is Rey coming? I don't know.
Is Mace Windu coming? Yeah, I'm not worried about Finn when Mace Windu is right there. Bryce Dallas Howard has the desire, but it's not happening.
She got the ear of Filoni too. So both of these things are not happening at the same time. Like, we're not doing some Vader series and bringing back Mace Windu for a mini series, and we're not doing all of that and doing Rey stuff like that. Lucasfilm doesn't have the capacity to operate like that. So somebody's gonna win here. Like, it's either gonna be the tail stuff that we're seeing, the Ahsoka season 2 stuff, the rumored new stuff from the Filoni verse, or Rey and Charmaine, and not Rey, excuse me, Daisy and Charmaine and Kathleen are going to be dancing on all of our graves.
Well, like I said, they still do have Hayden literally kind of everywhere right now. He's everywhere right now. I'm talking even past the weekend of Revenge of the Sith. He was just at another event here recently doing something for Star Wars, and I'm like, yeah, keep doing that. Keep sending Hayden out.
Yeah.
What if
Keep
they?
letting him do it all. He's had a Monopoly commercial too, so he's kind of everywhere. And it's a Star Wars themed Monopoly commercial, so it's just that, I mean, like, they're using him and not using Rey.
They've got Luke Skywalker highlighted at Galaxy's Edge right now in the parks. Like, this is very clearly not the iron grip forces female. This is what we're doing attitude that's been coming out of this company.
It's not. It's a shift. It's a
Something's
pivot because you're, as much as I want to get away from the Skywalker saga, you're pivoting to the Skywalkers that people want to, the real Skywalkers. You're pivoting to the Skywalkers that people want to see, and that is the franchise's main fucking characters, Luke and Anakin. I mean, you tried to rebrand with Rey, it didn't work. You tried to drag it on, it didn't work. You threatened us with 7 movies, it didn't work. So roll out Hayden, roll out Luke. Let's get them going.
Let's get it going. Yeah.
Since Hayden Christensen's so willing to work now, I wouldn't be opposed to this plot point where right before Darth Vader died, he decided to clone himself. And now that clone is a 45-year-old dude. Gross. And Hayden Christensen is back in the world of Star Wars.
Or you could just do the shit we haven't seen with Vader. I mean, we pick up with Vader after episode 3 in episode 4. That is 19 years between then and there. So between that time, there is so much story of Vader in his fucking prime that you could show. It's not just the Inquisitors that were hunting down the remaining Jedi.
Yeah, it's very cheap to make because even the voice actor, what's his name, who died?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones sold his voice already. You're covered there. Now, is there going to be an expensive actor in the suit? No, you're going to have a guy who's basically paid just to stand and walk. And basically, Hayden Christensen would do a couple of unmasked scenes. It would be very inexpensive to do, just like Mandalorian. Dre says Hayden needed some money too. So Monopoly. Listen, Hayden hasn't been getting much jobs since he left acting. He's just been, nowhere. He does conventions.
We need a sequel to Jumpers. That's what we need.
I can agree to that. Jumpers is good. And isn't he in Takers? He's in Takers too with Idris Elba and
is he the white boy? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because isn't his brother Paul Walker's character?
Yeah.
Okay. I called him Paul Walker. Yeah, Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. Brian O'Connor.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to something. I'll be quick with this one, but I wanted to share what Jason Lee had to say. Talking about the Met Gala, okay?
A story that said that the Met made $31 million, the most that the Met has ever made in a year.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
But here's where I felt defeated. I sat the whole day defeated when I heard that. And it's not because I'm not happy for the Met. I'm not happy for Anna Wintour. I love Anna Wintour. Devil Wears Prada is literally my favorite movie. It was all based on her. You should go watch it. It's the fact that we will all show up for things that are not ours to make them more valuable, to prove to them that we can do it, when really we need to prove to ourselves that we're enough to do it for ourselves. And I feel like, again, freedom in our community and Black culture is ownership. We will never own it. I literally not only felt defeated, but I have fully lost faith that our culture will ever get further away from being enslaved as a people, because even though we're not physically enslaved anymore, we are mentally enslaved. Why is it that all of you Black dandyisms couldn't have pulled together your own Met? Why couldn't we have our own Met Gala? We could, but we never will, because if you're invited to something that's all Black, it's bad. We're not going to go because it's messy. But if it's something that's white, prestigious, and that's the prestige, that's the validation, and that's the same shit that slaves were fighting for to get in the house. Everybody was fighting for that one spot to get in the house in proximity to the master, because that then was the power and the validation.
Come on, Jason.
I watched.
I didn't see this.
That they made $31 million, but it would be one thing if they made $31 million that went to the Black National Museum that Trump's underfunding. It would make sense.
Come on, Jason.
geared towards fashion programs for young Black designers. It would have been a thing if everybody would have showed up wearing all Black designer clothing to make a real statement. You did nothing but allow them to use our culture one more time to see in what you thought was really an honor to you, but for them was just padding their bottom line. And look, I'm going to probably get criticized for saying this from the industry. I would be so much more fulfilled in life building my own. Like, I look at what Tyler Perry's doing, I look at what Oprah's doing, I look at what other people are doing and know that it's possible, than to do that. Would I have loved to gone? Yes.
You lost me. Tyler Perry and Oprah.
You want to go. But I would have probably wanted to go on a year where it was not celebrate Black every year, have Black there every year, put on Black designers every year. But again, I don't know. I had an issue with that.
I wanted to see the inside because I was reading, I think Megan is.
I'm good. The theme of the Met Gala was super fine tailoring, Black style this year, and there was a great turnout. Ryan Coogler was even there. So I think a lot of that, yeah, he was pretty pointed. He was pretty critical, but you mean, was he right or is he right?
I think he's right.
He's absolutely right on the facts. Here's my problem with Jason Lee. Jason Lee himself has a vested interest in other Black celebrities coming to his tailored events, to his award shows, to the one that his media companies put on. So there's a part of this message that's very true. Absolutely, he's dead on. We should support our own. And he stops just short of encouraging us to do so and takes a trip into pessimism, into we ain't gonna do nothing because we ain't never gonna make it out of slavery, almost goading you into doing something that eliciting a reaction that he wants from you. So it's a little bit self-serving, I think, but he's right on the facts. When I look at all these Black celebrities that flock to get to the damn Met Gala and all that other stuff, to the Oscars, to the Grammys, but won't accept their invitations. Well, I don't really give a shit about the BET Awards, but
the NAACP Image Awards,
NAACP, stuff that is specifically tailored for us. The Soul Train Awards, that kind of stuff. So like, we can't be bothered to come to that, but we will pay money to the tune of thousands of dollars
to participate in the Met,
participate in this charade, this show, right? This pageantry.
Rich people Comic-Con.
It is very weird energy. And then to double back and look at working class or poor Black people and be like, oh, we all aren't organized and y'all not doing enough. Well, you just went and spent $250,000 on the ticket to a ball. So I how much am I really supposed to listen to you in terms of how to organize? You know what I mean?
Okay, Pastor Tura, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'll freely admit to knowing nothing about the guy speaking. I appreciate the context. Maybe the perfect thing for him to say is to direct to what is happening that is Black owned, instead of just complaining.
Yeah, instead of just endlessly complaining and saying, oh, but you ain't gonna do, we could do this, we could do that, but it ain't never gonna happen because this. Okay, well then why are you talking then? If it's a lost cause and there's nothing to be done about it, you should stop yapping.
And one of the things too that this might not be popular by everyone, but one of the topics that was going on a show I listened to was, also Black businesses and things, and how Black businesses present themselves and what we expect from Black businesses and things like that, or what they expect from us as the Black consumers, or everybody want a handout or things like that, blah 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 blah. If we're going to put on something, it needs to be everybody on the same page and one accord. It can't get out there and then have it looking like some shit off Zeus TV.
Don't come at Zeus Black on. Come at BET.
Okay. Yeah, that's Paramount old. You're muted.
Am I? Oh
no, Darius is.
Oh, don't Zeus have the TikTok reality show with all the motherfuckers fighting?
Yeah,
do that.
Well, there are outlets like I mentioned, Comic-Con. RDC World do a great job of having DreamCon. If my comic book ever gets somewhere, I'm not looking to get to San Diego. I'm trying to go to Austin, Texas to have a booth over at DreamCon. If I ever, let's look at other people that are doing great things. Corey Kenshin created a comic book. That's another YouTuber. And he's making, I think there's over 100K sales. There's great things that we can direct you guys to rather than always complain about, the big two. And I know that noticed myself, yourselves, we do that. We do solution oriented, rather than being too negative. We always kind of do direct to what is actually working instead of always, this is the worst. We're not getting anywhere. And we have an appreciation for ownership. I'm going to DreamCon at the end of the month. Salute.
Nice.
Very poignant. Very good words. I liked it.
Agreed.
Salute to Burkina Faso for no other reason than he mentioned ownership. And it's nice that they're going to own their own gold and they can make some money off of it.
Now here's what I got to say about that. Okay. About the white South Africans trying to come over here to our country. First of all, they're sending their worst. They're sending They're sending rapists. They're sending murderers.
We're not getting demonetized.
Flooding the border. There's 30,000 of them. They're eating our cats. They're eating our dogs. Tell Elon to round up his family and take them back to Dutch, wherever that is. They can't stay here. They're illegal. We won't take them. America first.
Well, I think they need to firstly stop calling these third or fourth generation German descendants South African. That is an oxymoron. Stop calling these people South African. They are not South African. So
it's almost as funny as, random Europeans living in the Middle East. They just kind of pick stuff and start saying things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. It's just funny. Everybody been talking about these South Africans. Like, I keep looking. I'm like, where are the South Africans?
For sure.
We're reading an LA Times article now because something significant happened in the world of entertainment. AMC, the major movie theaters chain, have been looking for creative ways to sell movie tickets. And now we got AMC is introducing a huge Wednesday ticket discount. Will it increase attendance? Before we even get into this, bro, I'm so in favor of it. Just try something new. Try to get people in. And reducing ticket prices, I mean, they're not reducing popcorn prices. So as long as you get people coming, you might actually make some money. So yes.
I wish it was Thursday, the premiere day for movies, because I'd be like, yes, but damn, what, the Wednesday?
I think this is dope as well. It's so dope that they may actually get me inside of an AMC theater this summer. They may actually do it. Hate AMC with a passion. I'm Team Cinemark till I die. But this is very good marketing. This is a very good way to drive sales.
Can I ask, you guys just said your team Regal, your team Cinemark. Wait, why? What? It's just because it's been close to you? What reason do you have loyalty to a movie theater chain?
My first job was at a movie theater. It was at Cinemark.
Oh, yeah.
We
I
got
have loyalty to Regal, Warren in particular, because those theaters are just magnificent.
Now, go ahead. My fault, bro. Go ahead.
But just when I went and saw Thunderbolts, I was so sunk down in my chair, like it goes back. You got the heat, even massages. I'm like, bro, yeah, it's
so
great.
now, do you have a Regal, or do you have one of my offshoots that they purchased from me, the Marcus Theater? Do you have a Marcus Theater in your area?
No, I don't think we have a Marcus Theater, but
there's a Marcus Theater up the road that I frequent a lot. This is my satellite. It's my spot. But no, actually, Regal owns a company now called Marcus Theaters that they purchased.
No,
brand.
I don't think so. You guys have Warrens where you are?
No.
Warrens?
Warren Theater, Regal Warren. Maybe that's
we have a Regal. We don't have Warrens. So.
Maybe Warren. He might be a Moore person. I don't know. He might be an Oklahoma person. But the Warren theaters are, well, the one, especially the one in Moore, it is magnificent. It's pretty damn big. It's nice. I like it.
There actually used to be a Magic Johnson Theater in Cleveland.
A Magic Johnson Theater. I haven't heard that in quite some time.
A minute, right? Yeah, there was one in Cleveland.
AMC though has the cool buckets and shit for movies, don't they? I don't go because AMC is a little bit more expensive.
See, yeah, they're more expensive for sure. They're more expensive. They kind of operate more so like a department store more than a theater. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's very impersonal.
What Joseph said there too. What you get with Regal, yeah, you get like once you
Regal
build
Awards
your
are
points.
dope.
Yeah,
I
they
get
are. They're
cash
dope.
off for the. Basically, you buying the tickets for the family is going to get your next concessions a
Free.
couple hours off.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You can go up there if you build your points. You can go up there and be like, yeah, let me get
Oh
that,
yeah, I
and then
fuck
you
with the
can,
reward.
yeah.
But they just don't have a. They don't have a movie pass thing. They like I that's where they're missing out. I mean, they must be doing good business because they don't seem to want to have one of those things. They do have stuff in the summer for like the kids. They have a kids summer
Like
movie
certain
thing
movies they show, yeah.
early as hell in the morning at like 10:30
Yeah.
or something like that for all the
When I
kids
used to work at summer camps, we used to take the kids.
yeah, there
out
you
there.
go. Yep, for the camps.
LA Times.
As spider cricket in this goddamn room.
Not a spider cricket. Over there blending insect species.
That sounds like an Avatar creature. As the box office improves, will steep discount on tickets bring more people to the multiplex this summer? That's what AMC Theaters is betting. The Leawood, Kansas-based chain said this week that members of its AMC Stubs loyalty program, which has a free tier, will get 50% off adult evening priced movie tickets all day long Wednesdays. And that starts on July 9.
I might just go on a Wednesday, man. I might just do it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And it's at a time where there are a lot of blockbuster films coming out right after each other. So like traditionally, you're not going to see all of that in the theaters. Some of that's going to be pushed to digital. This allows people, if you're an AMC goer, you can knock out Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible, Battle Arena, Thunderbolts, Sinners again on IMAX if you want to. Mess around and go see Superman, Jurassic Park, Fantastic Four, and see it all though. Be able to see it all. This is very competitive. I actually really like this. I can't say too much bad about it.
As of this past weekend, domestic ticket sales this year are down about 30% compared to the same time in 2019, according to ComScore. Even before the pandemic, attendance numbers were declining, but there's some hope on the horizon. Total North American box office grosses this year are expected to reach about 80% of 2019 totals, with 2026 is predicted to be 86% of what happened in 2019, says Alicia Reese, the Senior Vice President of Equity Research for Media and Entertainment at Wedbush Securities. I believe you. She says, the post-pandemic recovery has been pretty bumpy.
Slow.
That said, the strikes really challenged the box office volume for a while, but that's now in the rear view mirror. Theatrical attendance and flexible ticket pricing were frequent topics of conversation at CinemaCon earlier this Las Vegas, where studio executives and exhibitors alike mused about how to bring audiences back to theaters. What does mused mean?
Attracted or kind of like led in some way. Inspired.
So they did. Yeah,
inspired. There you go.
They spoke about it in a nice way about bringing audiences back to theaters and ticket pricing. Okay, a more diverse lineup of films would help, some said. Others, like Paramount Domestic Distribution President Chris Aronson, argued that an improved experience in the theaters, including fewer ads, limited trailers, extended matinee pricing, or daily deals, could lure customers. Every single one of those will lure customers back.
I don't think trailers have anything to do with the movie. Trailers allow you to show up to a movie late. It allows you extra buffer time to get there if you're running late. Also, how in the F are you going to continue to have these movie budgets that are $300-400 million, spending $100 million on marketing and not have trailers? How do you think that's going to work with the studios? Hey, we're only going to post 2 of your trailers per movie. How do you think that's going to go? Like, they're spending millions of dollars to get this shit made and to push this movie, and now you're limiting the amount. No, hell no. Plus, again, if you're saying ads, commercials, yes, less of that shit. Movie trailers are I believe that's part of the experience. It used to be the only way that you found out about new movies. So I don't buy the trailer thing. Everything else, yeah.
I think limited trailers is smart. And I know what you mean by you can come to a movie late because of the trailers. Sometimes they play way too much damn trailers. What if I come to a movie theater because it says if the movie starts at 3 p.m. I know I'm gonna be late. I can get popcorn. I can go to the restroom. I can do what I need to do. It's 3:10. The movie didn't start yet, but sometimes I'll get there, and the movie did start, and I'm like, what? 10 minutes after 3? This movie, this is false. All right, now I know. And then I come to the movie theater right at 3, and they have like 30 minutes of trailers or promotional ads.
First
you do need to
experience
limit
you
it.
named is the more common experience for me, is that there's been a diminishing amount of trailers. Like there has been a shorter time in between what I've expected to have from the start time in between the trailers and what has actually happened. I can't remember the last time I was in there like, damn, how many more trailers we got? But I haven't watched any kids movies lately either, though. So that's where they usually draw it out.
How many kids movies are there to advertise at a time? 3, 4?
Because family movies cross over, right? So where you may see a lot of animated films, you'll still see the PG-13 things as well.
All right.
Things that are marketed for families.
Yeah, so if Disney is doing a Disney movie, they're going to have their Disney superheroes also, which is Marvel. AMC has like 20 or 25 minutes of ads. Yeah, as long as it's always consistent, I'll be happy. And like, I want to know exactly when my movie starts. Sometimes it's right at 3 and sometimes it's not. It also depends on, anyways, they mentioned some other things about matinee. Yeah, matinee prices being reduced is a great incentive to go see a movie during the daytime. And they want that. They want to spread their audience instead of everyone coming at 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. So everyone wins.
Rogue, what you're talking about, the start time is the actual start time of the film, or at least that's what it's supposed to be. The lead up to that start time is the trailer. It's the trailer work. So if somebody is giving you a 7 o'clock start time and it's not starting until 7:30, they owe you some money. That's a lazy projectionist. Just wanted to throw that out there a bit.
But the biggest advertisement here, the biggest news is Wednesday, 50% off. Not even just daytime, nighttime. That's crazy.
That is dope. That is dope, because usually even on discount days, they try to cut it off at matinee. Or cut up. They've actually moved matinee up at the Regal out here, or the Marcus. So matinee for them ends at 4 o'clock. Who the hell? Do I have an off day? Am I sick or something? Like, who the hell can be at this movie before 4 o'clock?
Some people have days off, yeah. Some people also have different hours. But I want to ask the audience right now, please give me your answer. Will a Wednesday 50% off ticket make you skip a weekend knowing, it's coming on Wednesday and it'll be half price? Is that incentive enough for a movie you want to see? For not a movie that you have to see, because, for those, of course, you got to go on Friday. But still, a movie you want to see, it's the weekend, it's Friday, it's Saturday. Do you go, I will wait till Wednesday. Can't wait for Wednesday to see this at half price? I don't think it is. I think Wednesday is like, 5 days later. You're afraid of spoilers. You want to see a movie good enough. And I don't think people are going to wait until Wednesday. So my vote would be no to that question. And I think a lot of people, sometimes they'll just wait. And this may cost AMC a Monday ticket when someone's going on Monday, or someone plans to go on Monday and they go, actually, in 2 days, it's 50% off.
Yeah, I think the loser of the coin toss ends up the Wednesday movie. Like, if I'm in between and I'm like, oh man, am I going to see this or this? And then the loser of the coin toss is going to go to Wednesday. So it is the secondary product, if you want to look at it like that. They don't care, though. They want the foot traffic, right? So as long as you're going to come back and see the movie, they don't give a shit whether it's Monday or Wednesday. That's the whole point of adding the extra discount day. So
you know what they got to do, though? They got to make finales of TV shows extended and be a movie theater experience. They got to talk to the WWE and say, hold an event. The only way to watch it is live at a movie
local theater.
It has to be on a Wednesday.
That'd be pretty dope.
They did it with Beyonce and Taylor Swift 2 years ago when they had their concerts. There's out of the box things you can do at a movie theater, which involves a community that they could implement.
The Star Wars events, all the Fathom events that they do, the concerts, the orchestras, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's like a 1 day only type of, and they do that stuff. It's just not nearly as frequent, but that's also up to the studios and the the proprietors of those products to make stuff to put in the theaters too. So it's a give and take.
So I'm asking this chat and they're all giving their opinions. No, it's good saving money, but the experience of a good theater group is priceless. I think of Half Price Wednesday is a good compromise of not as chaotic as a weekend and still a bit of a vibe because it's not going to be totally empty in there. We already have a cheap Cinemark theater that I go to. It's on Tuesdays. If a movie I want to see again, then Wednesday is the day. Ooh.
On the rewatch? That's a good point.
Yeah. I could rewatch it on Wednesday. I've already seen it on Friday. I'll hold off until Wednesday. Yeah.
Maybe see it on a smaller screen, see it on the regular standard digital instead of the deluxe.
Yeah. I'll never forget watching Infinity War, and this little girl behind me started bawling when Spidey died. Thank you for the memory. That wasn't the question. Stay on topic. We must be on topic. Heck, they put Star Wars back in, and it did better than Thunderbolts that week. No, it didn't.
It did.
No, it didn't.
The re-release of Star Wars absolutely did.
Did better than Thunderbolts.
Revenge of the Sith. Oh, and you know what? That is not true because, well, it may be, bro. It was close. I think they were both in the $76 million range. And actually, Thunderbolt came in under $76 million. They overshot a bit. So Revenge of the Sith may have outperformed it. We should look that up. That'd be an interesting little tidbit about the health of Luke. If one of your older 20-something-year-old properties outperforms something that's getting a brand new $200 million budget, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, but that didn't happen. It grossed $74 million.
What did?
The Thunderbolts.
And then would it the
Star Wars?
Yeah, the re-release.
40 million, I think it was.
So you're just gonna pull that one out your butt. Look it up.
I don't need to. I don't need to prove anything.
Crazy. So you know it didn't outperform it, but we just refused to look it up to confirm.
You got the exact same access to buttons and the
You are
box office mojo
right.
that I have.
You're absolutely right.
I have a pass, so this doesn't impact me much. Okay.
Hell no, don't continue with those the comments. How the hell are you gonna skip over that?
Oh,
you definitely should have looked that up. That was you that contested it and said no, it didn't.
You feel me? Like I didn't think I started that argument, but I'm trying to pull it up. Hold on.
I got you.
Revenge of the Sith re-release.
Thunderbolts grossed an opening weekend of 74 million. And if we go to Revenge of the Sith, which was what? May?
Re-release.
3rd?
No, this isn't what I need.
Hold up.
Box office earnings. 20th anniversary. 25 million domestically.
$25 million. 25 million.
25.2
$5 million. Overall 55 million overall.
That means that's obviously did not perform it, but that's crazy. That's even comparable.
74 million.
55 million on a film that came out 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
That we're not gonna overshoot that and pretend like that's like, oh, okay. No, this is stop it. The film came out when I was in the 5th fucking grade.
I went back in my like cardboard boxes and dusted off a VHS, and it made me $55 million. You put around around $300 million in total between marketing and production for Thunderbolts, and it got you 74.
And then you look at the fandom reaction to it too online, opposed to the fandom reaction to Thunderbolts online.
I'll give them some fan reaction. There was some positive fan buzz from Thunderbolts pretty early. Now, once they realized it wasn't financially viable, it went away. Everybody stopped talking about Thunderbolts.
Right. But then you could also use this. How many of us, and audience wise, or people that went and saw Revenge of the Sith, I don't know who did and who didn't, sat in a full theater. My theater for Revenge of the Sith was sold out. I sat in a theater of 5 people with Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
With one person that got excited over the post-credit scene. She was alone.
Oh.
With the Fantastic Four, who's in the ship? Is it all 4 members? Is it just Franklin? Could it be a villain?
No, she literally said, now mind you, there's 5 of us. She said, oh my God, they're coming. I said, it's like, oh, well, there's somebody knows. Oh God, it's funny. Yeah, but I know sold out theater for Revenge of the Sith when the people brought out lightsabers and screamed. Okay, so when the Thunderbolts turned the Marvel crawl black, people were confused. So it's a different feel, but like he said, I think I would give that weekend to Revenge of the Sith over Thunderbolts, regardless of what it made.
But that's not what you guys were saying. Like that's not what started this.
We said it outperformed it. We definitely said it outperformed. And it did. It's a 20-year-old movie that's been seen 2 or 3 times over in theaters, and it made $55 million in like 7 days.
It's a 20-year-old movie.
I'm just saying, we give equal time to Thunderbolts for a brand new film, has much more money posted into it, and we're just kind of barely nestling over top of it.
You said it outperformed it. Why can't you just say I was wrong to say that it outperformed it?
I've already admitted that we were wrong on the number. That was
okay. That's all
like
I was
5
talking
minutes
about.
ago.
That's then the number was all I was ever on. Now you're like the quality of the film or how amazing was it? You're right. Yeah, it was amazing. No, we're
not talking about the quality of the film. We're putting the fact that it is a 20-year-old film.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Now we can. All right, let's move on. You're right. Let's move on. You're right. We should move on from this. Stupid. Oh, I'm
gonna start chiming in on these little spats because I feel like sometimes.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna start chiming.
Not
in.
fair.
I'm gonna start chiming.
I win too many of them.
Let's move on. I'm gonna start chiming in.
No, you try to take your ball and go home.
No, I don't. I didn't want to have to open up
a page.
You show how long you were. That's the perfect. You are that kid.
I'm taking the ball and going home.
Yeah, you're like, all right. Well, we're done playing this game.
You created the game. You said something that wasn't right. I tell you that's not right. Why did Darius have to go and say, no, we can't just skip over that. We need to see it. Yeah, let's see it. Oh, well, what about this?
Because I've been watching you bully him since the Pantheon became a thing.
Who's bullying it? Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes he's right. It's fun. No one's bullying anyone.
I'm not even taking it that deep. It's not that deep.
Marcus, do you feel bullied?
First of all. Anyways, it's not that deep. What I'm saying is that there was a challenge, but words matter. And what I said is that it outperformed Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
And I didn't say, I already gave up the fact that it made more money bottom line. But the fact that the film is 20 years younger, with about $100 million more into the budget.
Impressive.
And the fact that it's that close is embarrassing.
All right, bro. All right. Yeah.
Pardon day.
Darius, be a moderator. What are you trying to do here? Wait, whose side were you going to be advocating for? Myself or his self? Like who? You never mind.
Are you talking about for when I chime in? Whatever. If it depends on, sometimes I see what Marcus is saying. Sometimes I see what you're saying. It just depends.
Okay.
It just depends.
All right. Darius, like, how come no one ever fights with me, man? It's so left out.
I don't want it.
We didn't touch on everything we were going to touch on, though. We did Andor, we did Ironheart, Superman. I know there was something else we didn't touch on. Annihilators, the rumor, the big rumor.
Annihilators.
Do they even have that much time? Who have we seen in the Annihilators? Beta Ray Bill ain't here. Gladiator ain't here. Where are they going to find the time? How does that even make sense?
I so agree. I agree. At this point in the game, if it's not about Secret Wars or Doomsday, it is so fucking irrelevant to me.
It's like that shit might never see the light of day.
Yeah, like, I saw Rob retweet it and was like, oh, bro, I can just, hear Rob's voice. Oh, bro, the Annihilators are just so, they're so awesome. That's great, bro. We haven't even, what's going on in the multiverse saga? We're talking about the Annihilators. Not to say that I wouldn't be cool. It'd be dope to see them. But it's like, what are we doing?
We've barely left our own solar system in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like in our universe, we've barely left our own solar system. What do you mean, Annihilators? What are you talking about? From where?
And you're about to introduce the female Silver Surfer. It's just like, what are you? I mean, I don't.
The Annihilators with Shalabal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's crazy that they're even talking about that. I didn't even pay any attention to that when that went out. It's kind of like just like this. I guess Jeff Snyder shared tonight, not about Annihilators, but X-Men, that they're building the team around Charles, Cyclops, and Jean. Well, yeah, but it's just like, okay, you got well, there's those questions about the X-Men, of course, but it's like you need to really wrap this in a pretty bow up first before you start talking about anything else right now.
Yeah,
I know
don't
they
really
might
care
have
about future plans. I agree.
Yeah, they might have a 10-year plan. That's fine, but I would put a pin in that shit until you wrap this up. All your attention needs to be here.
No, I can take the Annihilator story and the X-Men story and put it together. When you make an X-Men movie, you know that there's this allegory of racial inequality, but it's Donald Trump's America. So how about we take an X-Men story that is space-based? And I can think of 10 times X-Men have gone to space and done something. There you can have the Gladiator from your Annihilators movie and build it there. He'll appear in Guardians, he'll appear in other things. Just don't make a movie called Annihilators, though. You made a movie called Eternals. You didn't make much money with the movie called Thunderbolts. You won't make money with a movie called Annihilators. Use those characters that you're looking to make that are part of the team, that are these guys here. Silver Surfer, Gladiator. Is that Adam Warlock there? He's appeared. We have him.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan and Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah,
they killed Ronan.
No one else has appeared, though. Yeah, Ronan's dead. Beta Ray Bill's head appeared in Ragnarok on the little statue of champions. Adam Warlock, how old is he now? 5? And Norrin Rad, I guess he's in this universe.
Maybe it may be Shalabah. So wait, you think
or it could be the MCU makeshift version of the Annihilators. They could just throw people together.
Yeah, they could bullshit it. You know, nothing is actually what it is.
It'll be the Guardians of the Galaxy 4, except they'll be using these characters.
Do you think that this movie is coming out before Trump is like not president anymore?
No, he'll be president. He won't be president anymore. You're right, because how many years it takes to develop.
Talking about next for when the X-Men film comes out.
The X-Men film. I don't think he'll still be president by then.
Damn. So we're still 4 years away from
at least from a film for sure.
Jeez.
Or 3, yeah, 3.
Next year is Doomsday. Secret Wars is 2027.
Yeah, we still gotta do Secret Wars.
Damn.
It's gonna be a grip. And by that time, we may be totally fed up with Kevin's ass. It may be over with.
Yeah,
it may be over. So all of this, oh man, we got this great plan. Annihilators, Midnight Suns, X-Men. It's gonna be epic. Bam. You might not get out of the next 4 projects.
Don't say that, Marcus. You don't know me. I can do it. People are going to watch Fantastic Four. It'll make more than Jurassic World. It will.
Yeah. It will not. It will not.
I'm grappling with age here. That's some time.
Yeah.
I have been in this game since 08. I was in the 8th grade. That is some time, brother. 4 more years for the X-Men. My God. I know how long I'm not like, I'm not naive to how long it takes to make a movie. I'm just like, oh my, ooh.
That's after the 5-year plan, but now we got a 10-year plan, so it's double better than the 5-year plan. You know what I mean? But we got to take 4 years to actually start the 10-year plan.
Well, there's a writer from Hunger Games who's writing this now, Michael Leslie. So maybe it's not 4 years, right? Maybe it's a couple years down the road.
But then when do you put it in there? If it's not part of
the X-Men movie, not the Annihilators movie, the X-Men movie. When do we put it?
No, I mean the X-Men movie. Where do you put it in? If you're still currently going through the Secret Wars saga, then that doesn't fit. You can't put the new X-Men, at least, unless that's where they plan on introducing them, right? But everything we've heard is heavy Fox X-Men for Doomsday and Secret War. So.
If y'all then I'm gonna into the old folks' home. About time this drop. Listen, Dre had his 2 twins graduate just a couple weeks ago. Congratulations to that, by the way, Dre Mack, for that achievement. But don't let us tell you that you're old. Let that tell you that you are an old man. You are a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's man.
Yep, after Secret Wars, so that's like 2028.
That's crazy. That is crazy. You know, and that's crazy. That's even a deeper kind. Like, you don't even know where the world's gonna be 2028. That's crazy. 2028. They better fast track this shit and give us the goddamn X-Men already.
It's just hitting you now. Like, I always thought about that. Like, damn, Endgame came in 2019. T'Challa just died in 2022. We're not gonna see him again. Like,
time.
Yeah, what are they doing?
This has been a long journey, and it's not over. And I think when we talk about like stop watching, I think that is where like I'm like, okay, if I'm done after Secret Wars and Doomsday, if it's what I've been saying and if it's that, because right now it's just like you have taken so much of my
time,
man. It's like, so I need to see some shit. But that's a long time. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I really hope that DC does take off and we can have some sort of like good entertainment coming from that side. Hire some good creatives, James Gunn, and then keep them in your bullpen. Like if a guy does a movie that's really good, like Matt Reeves or something like that, keep him. Let him do more things with you.
So apparently he's gotten positive communication about the Batman too.
Yeah, I saw that, but the wording around that is weird. He told us last time that he, like, when P was asked, is he still doing it? He was like, yeah, like duh. So why are you giving? Because when you say you're giving and you've gotten encouraging news, that kind of signals that there was
it wasn't encouraging before.
Yeah, so I'm like,
he's a fucking bullshitter, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, he don't be telling the truth.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He be lying out his ass. But about this Reeves thing, I mean, now, if he hasn't been embarrassed by all the announcements that didn't come to pass or all the things that he told us about DCU continuity that haven't come to pass, saying that you received positive news about Reeves Batman 2 right before he exits officially would be the most embarrassing thing in the world. It would literally be, hey, we got a Batman Affleck movie that he's going to direct for us. And then Ben Affleck comes out and said, I would never fucking work with DC ever again. Okay. So it's like that level of embarrassment. Don't let that happen to you twice. Just be very sure, I would say.
He's Kathleen Kennedy, bro. James Gunn's just someone I don't even care to hear what you have to say anymore.
That's another problem with that Batman film. It's like, time. When did that come out? 2022?
Yeah, I mean, if they get started on it like right now, comes out a little bit after, what's the big new release that they have after Superman? What's the next big theatrical release?
Supergirl.
Okay, so maybe
after Lanterns,
Supergirl. Yeah,
and then he said he got encouraging or positive news that he can't yet share about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, bullshit.
Can I just say now that I'm looking at the poster, look how much of his face is there. It's so prevalent. He's all over this poster. They're not ashamed of the melanin deficiency that my brother has here. David Cornsweat. It's crazy how these posters keep going this way when it's white characters, but not for the Riri Williams or the Brave New World posters. They never had a Sam Wilson this much face exposed. Now he had to have the goggles on, or he had to be in the background. They wouldn't have never done this with Sam.
Or underneath a hawk fist.
Yeah, up on the side, on the corner of the poster. Disgusting. James Gunn.
Funny.
Is anyone going to rewatch Sinners this weekend? Going to see it in IMAX for one more week because Final Destination isn't getting those screens? Who's going to watch Sinners again? I think I might. This is my week. And I might see Final Destination too.
Yeah, I want to see Final Destination.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Final Destination. It's a weird, I love horror films, but that's not the type of horror I love because that shit is like too like, oh, that could happen. And then it's like, oh, like now I'm overthinking shit. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example. When I was, and this was when I was younger. You remember when John Q came out? Obviously, the year that came, I don't know how old I was, but
Nope.
we saw it in theaters. I don't remember. We saw it in theaters, and because I don't know, just irrational, I guess, when I was younger, we left, and I remember leaving just panicked, crying. I wouldn't eat because we went to Texas. I wouldn't eat because I was just afraid my heart was gonna stop. So I was like,
my son's not dying today.
That wasn't bad. Yeah, you got to. My son's gonna bury me.
My son's gonna bury me.
I'm not gonna bury him. Yeah. So like the trailer got me with the whole the glass going into the cup with the ice. I'm like, nigga, that could happen. That could happen. Like, so yeah,
Or the fire
I'm gonna go see it.
escape, or the driving on the freeway behind the truck carrying the logs.
That's why I
got
don't.
everybody.
Ever since that one, I we
hate
get
being
the opposite
behind
lane.
semis. I don't even like trucks all like that. Get up off me.
Yep, no.
In the social media era, we've kind of made that like a legendary story about driving behind. And I think the last time we had a Final Destination was 2011, maybe. So yeah, we have reached cult status. So this movie franchise should be okay now. It should be a comeback year. The last one didn't perform too well, but that's that. Mission Impossible is next week. Yes, you're right.
Oh, let's go.
It is next week.
Can't wait for Mission Impossible.
The Best Stunt Academy Award is going to him automatically. It doesn't matter what he does.
Facts. You already know you about to do something wild.
I saw all the Thunderbolts actors lying and being like, "We do our own stunts. You do your own stunts. Yeah, I do your own stunts." I think they're trying to win the award.
In the volume, sure, of course you do. In a padded environment, yeah, no, he's gonna win it. And the fact that he's not like super pressed about marketing whatever the big shot is. Remember in Ghost Protocol, he couldn't wait to show you that he was flying down that building in Saudi Arabia, right? He couldn't, or Dubai, or wherever the hell they were at. He couldn't wait to tell you that he was flying down that building. When he was base jumping off the mountain with a motorcycle onto a train, he couldn't wait to show you that. He ain't showed us nothing. We've been getting all montages from the old Mission Impossible movies. Yeah. He hasn't showed you anything about what his outrageous stunts is. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Yeah, don't let the stunt. Maybe give me the behind the scenes with the stunt the week the movie's out. Don't do it 2 weeks before, 2 months before, like you did with those ones. You're right. Yeah, but that's all coming to the movie theaters. Movies are back, yo. The movies are back. It's been pretty good.
Share
FX,
this, Jill, if you can. Remember, Lilo and Stitch comes out too. I saw Lauren saying for him that one's a big one for me too. They released 2 clips of it. This is going to be such a good movie, a fun movie too. I think that this looks like something good, and I hope they recuperate from what they got from Snow fucking White. If you just stick to the live action the way it's supposed to be, if you're going to make it, take notes from How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know if you guys have been seeing those trailers. It is literally it's just the animated movie live action. And I feel like if you're going to do that, do that. Don't go changing shit and like, oh well, if it this I would like it. No, copy and paste if that's what you want to do. Because I think Lilo and Stitch, even though I'm sure there are some things different from some of the clips they've shown, it's still basically the same movie.
What a piece of work you are. Hello. Oh, look, fire. Look. We're close. Wait, it's moving. Come on. Let's go. We got to go. Oh, look, it's the Grand Councilwoman. Don't answer that. Councilwoman, not now. Your Majesty. Aren't you just looking delightful today?
It has been 24 hours. Have you captured the creature?
Start traveling, please. We've captured his attention.
Oh, he's a good.
There's no instruments. There's nothing here.
And are you enjoying the hotel?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I mean,
I'm obviously being sarcastic.
Go! Systems go. Engage. Oh, no, other way.
Find the creature, and remember, you must use discretion.
Discretion is my middle name.
Oh, brilliant. Is it too late to vaporize the planet?
Fingers always on the trigger, man.
No, I'm joking. What an adorable little psychopath.
What a piece of...
That looks fun.
Hey, why did nobody tell me Zach Galifianakis was in this movie?
Yeah, they didn't spend all that money on the CGI for Jumba and Quickly, so they will be disguised as actual humans instead of just having like a mustache like in the cartoon.
No, I hope not. That's not a permanent thing. Like,
they have shown clips of them as Jumba and Quickly.
Got it.
My complaint with the scene is that I've seen it. Discretion is my middle name said before many times, but it's a kid movie, and this is probably the first time that audience is going to hear that line. So I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that one. Ready for that one.
But are you ready for this one?
I just keep elevating, no losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings. I turn that into money.
Right before we leave, we have a super chat. Do we see Static Shock live action within 5 years?
Ooh.
Nah, 5. No. If you would have said 8 years, I'd say yes. But
God
5.
Damn.
8 is crazy. 8 is nuts.
8 years.
You know what? I'm gonna say
5.
yes. I'm gonna have faith in y'all's boy, in James Gunn. I'm gonna have faith in him. I'm gonna put an unrealistic expectation on him, and I'm gonna be upset when he doesn't meet it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, yeah, he's gonna have Static here in 5 years.
For a movie to come out in 5 years, which is the year 2030, we have to greenlight that in 2027, right?
At least.
Okay.
At least.
Make it maybe 26. Maybe 26. So next year, after Superman comes out and after Supergirl performs well, will he go, I can do Static Shock? No, he won't.
That's well, you're not wrong. I don't think you're wrong there.
Could they get away with doing just one milestone character? Would they not then be forced to build out the rest of Dakota City?
These are white studios. I think one is enough. I think, well, we did it with one. Great. We'll do a sequel with that guy.
Okay. Good enough, I guess.
Okay, well, sure. I was gonna say, well, then why not put somebody over if you don't want to have if they don't want to build out Dakota City, then have a black creators over that part of your universe.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens when we line up the Authority and Peacemaker season 3 and Swamp Thing, and then we line that up versus Static Shock, Icon,
Blood Syndicate, Hardware.
Yeah, Hardware. What happens? What happens? And then now the Emperor is wearing no clothes. What were we even doing watching this guy's stuff when we could have been watching this milestone stuff? It's literally what's going. I honestly believe it's part of what's going on with Reeves right now in the Batman, but we'll see.
Just don't race swap one of your heroes. You already race swapped Perry White, but don't race swap a superhero. We don't want Wonder Man, but from DC.
Wonder Man.
I hope they don't do that. Hope they don't race swap over there. One more thing before we get out. I did say this on when he talked about it. So do you see Mel Gibson gave the name for the Passion 2?
Yeah.
The revival or
the resurrection of
resurrection.
I'm going to tell you, I'm very, very curious and interested to see, because just listening to him describe it on Joe Rogan, you've got my attention.
It's going to have a lot of patrons for sure. It's definitely going to make a lot of money.
Now, here's the thing. I'm a follower of Christ and everything like that, but people, because I can already see the Christians on this one. This is a movie. It's his interpretation. Let him do what he's going to do, because I can already tell you it's going to be controversial. Just listen to the way he's talking about it. It's going to be controversial. He's called it an acid trip. So I'm ready to see it. I want to see what he's got going. So
yeah, hopefully he'll grow skin like copper and hair like wool.
Well, he's not going to do that.
No, he's not going to do that.
It's the same actor.
Not Mel Gibson.
No, he's not going. No. He's definitely not going to do that.
Yeah, it's just like, how do all these black people end up in Northern Africa? Or excuse me, how do all these Europeans end up in Northern Africa and in the Middle East? It's just like, it's crazy. How did you guys stay that light? It's nuts.
Yeah. No.
Did it?
I don't know.
Cue to Josh.
Is that it? Is that cue Josh? Nah, we gotta cue
We have-
something else.
We have another super.
Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out.
I hope
Hey,
you're
yo,
having a
Tuesday.
great stream, guys. Listen,
Thank you, Zach Attack.
it was a good stream, but now it's a great stream.
Thank you for the very, very generous. Very
Appreciate
generous.
it for sure.
He's got a channel if you guys want to check it out, Zach Attack Reviews. You should go there now because we're done our stream. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the supers from yourself as well as everyone else who contributed monetarily to our live stream. Pantheon comes at you every Thursday. I'm chill. I'll probably be live every day. Me and Darius are actually both trying to become these daily streamers, and we're doing a pretty good job of being consistent. We're consistent. We may skip a day here or there, but we're doing a good job finding some topics and chit-chatting it with you guys, making ourselves more accessible. If you want Marcus, where we can find you?
Find me at Back of the Bus. I'm there live on Sundays. We do W's and L's. We do Behind the Cape, our 2 keynote sessions, if you will, or segments, I should say. We're live there at 4:00 on Sundays. We do replays throughout the week on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Or
Darius,
every
when you
day, but those are the replays.
Live Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Here Thursdays and live on Fridays. So we are kind of back in motion.
I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon on my channel. Cue the Josh.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, dog.